How do you know the Earth is a ball? A globe.
Ships disappearing over the horizon, reciprocal zenith angles, tides, moon phases, plethora of other evidences.
Okay, so let's go with that one by one. Have you ever observed yourself, a ship go over the horizon?
Yes, numerous times.
Numerous times. Where were you?
Sorrento, Portsea.
Or which area?
Melbourne, Victoria, where I live.
You know what kind of boat it was?
Spent my life at the beach, mate.
Yeah, that's fine. You know what kind of boat it was? You remember?
An internationally travelling ship, a very large cargo ship. Cargo ships don't have oil arrive here in Victoria, but we have extremely large ships come into the port.
Yeah, great. So I live in Boston. I live in Cambridge, which is next to Boston, where Harvard and MIT is. I've been to Boston Harbor, and I watched a ship sail 30 miles away, and it never went over the horizon. So, and I've actually never seen a ship go over the horizon, ever. Not even one time. So I have photographs, images, radar tracking of the ship's cargo ship.
Radar tracking.
Pardon me?
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt at all. Keep going.
Yeah, so Gloucester, which is north of, it's at the northernmost point of Boston Harbor. They track the position of ships using marine radar, and marinetraffic.com posts the positions of the ships. So I watched the ship for 3.5 hours sail from 6 miles away from me out to 30 miles away from me, and it never vanished under the horizon or did anything like that. Now, according to the globe map, that ship should have been 420 feet under the horizon. So you have your observation, which doesn't seem very well detailed. And my observation, where I have compass headings, positioning of the ship, my elevation, which is 15 feet, right? I all the particulars. So if we have, let's just take it at face value that you saw what you saw, because obviously this is observed sometimes. It's a question of whether that's the geometry of the Earth. If the horizon is the geometric edge of a ball, but that's blocking ships, it's blocking the sun, that's blocking all these things, right? So the horizon will have to be physical, right? It have to be a physical location.
Well, the horizon is a physical location. Where we see it isn't necessarily the physical location. And just going back to you saying that
That's impossible. What you just said is impossible.
Hang on. You've sped out a whole lot of details and facts and stuff there. So let's just go back over what you said.
Okay.
You said you've seen ships numerous times. You've never seen one go over the horizon and disappear. So you just sort of go away and get smaller and smaller and smaller until the entire thing disappears.
Then the air becomes too opaque for the see through it, right? Because we have visibility in the ocean, right? If you go look on your weather,
but you don't have a photo of it, do you? You don't have any footage of that happening, do you?
What do you mean? I don't have any footage of what?
Pretty straightforward sentence. You don't have any footage of this happening. It's just your word that you saw it get so far away that it got smaller and smaller and disappeared.
I just said I got to. I'll post the pics, dude.
Sure, let's see them.
Hold on a second.
Great, thanks.
So, you said that the horizon's geometric. You just can't see it. That's impossible because horizon is defined as the apparent location where the sky appears to meet the Earth, right? You have to see it. Otherwise, it's not a horizon. Appears.
Right.
Appears is not a mental construct. It's vision. It means you see it.
Okay. I'm not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really getting your point here, but.
The point is that the horizon that you think exists, if it moves around and is just a product of the meteorological conditions, then that's not the curvature of the Earth that ships disappear behind. For instance, if I see the horizon at 10 miles one day and the ship disappears behind it, and then the next day it's 20 miles away and the ship disappears behind it, which one's the curvature of the Earth?
I don't follow what you're talking about, to be honest.
How can you have a bunch of different curves of the Earth if the horizon, ship going behind the horizon is going beyond the curve of the Earth, right, curving down, okay? It does it at 20 miles one day and does it at 30 miles another day and does it at 6 miles another day. How can that be the curve of the Earth?
Well, we know what refraction is, right?
So not the curve of the Earth.
So do you know what refraction is and how it works?
You don't.
That's not answering the question.
Yes, I know it very well, okay?
Right. So then why do you not mention that when you're talking about ships disappearing one day at 20 miles and disappearing another day at 30 miles, whatever number you use, it doesn't really matter.
Because if I mention refraction, that proves my point that it's not the curve of the Earth, that it's a meteorological condition.
It's not a meteorological condition. Refraction bends light downwards.
Is that caused by meteorological conditions?
Dude, I'd really, really appreciate it if you wouldn't start talking when I'm in the middle of a sentence. Can we just keep it?
Well, is that caused by meteorological conditions?
If you don't get to finish a thought, if you don't get to get the entire thing out, people don't get to hear the conclusion of what it is, the point you're trying to make. So just wait till everyone's finished talking.
Well, you said it's not a meteorological condition, and then you described light bending down by a meteorological condition. Told you, dude. You bit off more than you can chew, bro.
No, back
to amateur hour. You
gotta stay honest, dude. Okay, you're talking nonsense.
You bit off more than you can chew. You have no idea what your fuck you're doing. This is amateur hour.
Yeah, amateur hour, right? But you can't stick to the subject.
Tell me.
You're turning to insults immediately. We haven't even been going 10 minutes yet, and you're turning to insults
dude,
already.
You're wasting my time.
This is not a debate. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, because you don't know anything.
I don't know anything.
Okay, tell me what causes light to bend down.
Changing the medium. It's like
changing the medium.
Dude, if you're going to keep interrupting me, right, when I'm trying to answer your question, then we have no business here. Are you capable of destroying me like you claim you're going to do, or do you have to interrupt me? Right? And eventually you'll go, I'm sick of this. You're wasting my time. I'm too big for you, and you'll freaking leave.
I'm wasting my time.
Okay, show some nuts. Right. Nut up. Be quiet when I'm speaking.
No, you talk too much shit, dude, for respect.
So you're gonna
you insult flat earthers you insult flat earthers in the timelines like a crazy person, and you don't know shit.
Sure thing. Right. So where's this footage? Have you posted the pictures of this ship going away?
I'm posting it right now. Give me a second.
Oh, you're getting
it's almost up.
Okay.
It's almost up.
Okay. So while you're doing that, you explain to us how a local moon, how we see the exact same face, right, of the moon. Everyone on the Earth sees the exact same face on any given day. How is that possible, right, on a moon that is
God, this is so amateur. Look, if the moon is sufficiently far away, the angle's going to be the same. That's the reason for in the fucking globe, and that's the reason in the flat Earth. Okay?
No, I'm going to need something better than that.
There's no parallax, brother. If there's no parallax, then everybody's going to see the same face of the moon. Whether you see parallax or not depends on the distance of the object away from you.
No. So
no.
This is where you just blurt out freaking numbers. The only time we won't see parallax, right, is when the distance is extraordinarily far. Right?
Okay. Is there any parallax right now at 300,000 miles?
If your position is moving, right, you will see parallax. Okay.
Do we see parallax with the moon now?
Yes.
We do. Okay.
From one side of the Earth to the other, yes, there is.
Oh, really?
That's why we can take elevation angles of the
post
moon.
That data. Yeah, post that data, bro.
We can take elevation angles of the moon. This is why flat earthers will never do this experiment. Okay, why don't three of you go out right at the same time from different places on the planet? You know, you're all around America. That's a big enough area.
We don't have a planet.
Take an elevation angle of the moon, right, and plot where the moon is from that. Right, and tell me it's a local moon then. But you won't do that. I guarantee none of you will do that and publish the results.
Okay.
Why is that, India? Why have you never done that, India? You could prove the moon is local, and you've never thought to take elevation and direction angles.
Because it's irrelevant to the shape of the Earth.
It's not irrelevant. You claim it's a local moon.
So check this out.
It's not irrelevant to the shape of the Earth because you say we're in a dome. You're going to change the subject again. You're going to move on and change the subject again.
No, I'm addressing what you said. You're trying to move on by bringing up a fucking dome. I'm trying to talk about the moon. Okay? Okay, really simple. Can I figure out what my house is made out of by looking at something that's not my house?
No, it depends. But
no, the answer is no. So looking at the moon can't tell you what the shape of the Earth is.
That's a baby fluff comment, okay? Because you can't look at the floor. You can't look at the ceiling to work out what the floor is. Is that the flat Earth saying something along those lines?
Okay. No, this is logic, right? Okay. Anything you do to listen. If you look at something else other than the thing that's in question, the only conclusions you can draw are inductive inferences. Okay, inductive inferences all contain the logical fallacy of affirming the consequent. Okay, they can't prove anything.
No, science doesn't prove things. Neither can
congratulations.
Yeah, no, but we have.
I can prove the Earth is flat by measuring directly the surface of the Earth. Really simple.
Why don't you show us those flat measurements then? But you won't, because it doesn't.
Well, I posted the boat in there. Now, if you want flat measurements, I'll post those too.
Sorry, where did you post it? In the pill?
Yeah, I posted it in the thread that this thing is in.
What are these? A red line pointing to some blurry pixel. What the fuck?
A red line pointing to some blurry pixel.
This is your evidence that the Earth is flat. You got to be kidding me. You are kidding me, right?
This is my evidence that ships disappear over the horizon. Why are you straw manning me? Why are you straw manning me? This is my evidence ships don't disappear over the horizon.
I can't even
tell more. Hold on a second.
I can't even tell.
I got more.
Cannot see what that is.
Well, I got more. That's okay. I got more, dude. It only lets you post 4 images. Here, I also got it taken from 100 feet from a parking garage, from top of a parking garage. In the math for 100 feet.
Well,
it's still 30 miles away, and it's sitting on the horizon, which is supposed to be 12 miles away. I got compass headings. I got a whole bunch of shit, bro.
Tangents, Earth radius, feet 400, obscured 425, and then you're claiming that that's how far away the boat is. I'm not seeing any proof here at all. I'm seeing a blurry picture and then some Earth calculated numbers.
Earth calculated numbers. It's your globe, right? So the horizon from 15 feet is only supposed to be 6 miles away. Well, according to this, 4 miles away.
Right? Did you add in?
I just posted the marine traffic graphic. Okay. I also posted where you can clearly see it from 100 feet. Okay. And the map from 100 feet, which it puts the horizon 12 miles away, and the boat's on the horizon, but it's 30 miles away, which makes the horizon 30 miles away.
From 100 feet.
100 feet at the top of a parking garage. This is Revere Beach. There's a train station there, and the train station has a parking garage for cars. You can get on top of it. It's 100 feet up to sea level. Now, the whole point of this isn't to prove the Earth is flat. The point is that ships don't disappear over the horizon, and when you do see that, they're caused by an inferior mirage in some meteorological condition. And we know this because we can replicate this on shorter surfaces where we can eliminate curvature as a variable. So we can replicate the same observation, a little teeny boat disappearing, bottom up, over a horizon which shouldn't even exist, on something we know can't be the curve of the Earth because it's too short of a distance.
But doesn't doesn't the curve start at your feet? How could it be too short a distance to show any curve at all?
Because the horizon, like if you have a low enough camera height, the horizon is a certain distance away. From 1.5 inches, the horizon is supposed to be 2,400 feet away. If you have a lake that's 1,000 feet long, obviously you can't have our globe horizon on it. The lake's not long enough. Right? So if you take a little boat, sail across, and then freaking see it disappear behind the horizon, that can't be the curve of the Earth horizon.
Where's this footage? Have you got that available? Is this a little remote control boat?
Hold on a second. Hello? Yeah? Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm talking to somebody.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Sorry, someone knocked on my door. Anyway, where was I? Oh, the RC boats. Yeah, hold on. I got that too. Still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're off to something. Yeah, give me a second for that too. Okay, so I posted, this is RC World, but this is just one of many. I could post bunches. There's people have also done this on Twitter. In fact, I think Overlord's done some of these. So you just get a short lake, which is not long, which is shorter than the predicted distance to the horizon. Just watch your freaking little boat sail away. Now, key point about this image is there should be no horizon at all. According to you guys, if the Earth is flat, you should be able to see all the way to the other side, the shore, because this is only 1,000-foot long lake.
Great, thanks. So the Earth is not flat. Because if it was flat, you should be able to see to the other side of the lake. Thank you.
According to you guys.
And the picture.
This lake isn't long enough.
That you've just shown.
Yeah, this lake isn't long enough to block the boat, according to the globe.
What do you mean, according to the globe?
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is happening on a flat surface, bro. The globe, this is a 1.5, hold on, this is a 1.5-inch camera height. This lake is 1,000 feet long. You go in the curve calculator, it says the horizon from this camera height is 2,400 feet from the camera. Now, how can this boat disappear behind a globe Earth horizon it can't reach? Because the horizon's at the edge of a ball. Because the horizon is an optical effect. It's really simple.
How long is a mile? I'm not familiar with miles. How long is a mile?
5,280 feet.
Right. So 6-foot observer sees 3 miles, and you reckon a 1-inch observer sees
1.5 inch. I posted the video. Even if you load this in the Walter Business calculator, shows that the object would be visible, which they do in the video. She loads it up. She takes all the measurements. I mean, they've replicated this multiple times. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to post a screenshot from Bislin. Just like a crazy person. So what I just posted is the globe Earth prediction. You can clearly see that would be in front of the horizon. So that's the problem. We can replicate this on a flat surface. It doesn't matter why it happens. We know. So the point of the test is to eliminate the variable of curvature. We eliminate as a variable by using a distance where curvature can't be the reason. Can't be the cause. That's the point of the test. It's been replicated many, many times. You can replicate it yourself.
So I'm not seeing any numbers here. In the two pictures you posted, can you step me through the numbers here? Angular size, drop, angle, distance on surface, horizon dip, drop from high level, drop from surface, top right, apparent radius, target left to horizon, target lift absolute, horizon, gradient. There's no elevation of the observer here. Oh, whoops. Come on.
No, it's there. Sorry. I'll crop the whole thing. Observer height is 0.03 meters. I posted the video where all this is at. Told you how high the camera height is. In the video, it shows for measuring the camera height. So, hold on.
Because,
you can just go on Walter Business Calculator and do this yourself, man. Like, you don't have to trust me or the screenshots.
No, I don't trust you because I want to see target one visible, 0.076 meters. Hidden, 0.
Yeah, 0. 0 should be hidden. That's the point.
0 is hidden. There's nothing hidden.
0's hidden. Where's the right bottom of the boat then?
Is it not pretty much the whole boat? Have you got a picture of the boat? I don't know how big it is. That looks like pretty much a boat except for what would be in the water. Maybe a tiny little bit missing. Could be a little bit.
Yeah, I got a picture of the whole boat.
Disturbance on the water.
It's like painful. You know what I find out? You've never, ever in your entire life applied any scrutiny to the globe at this level. Ever. Not even once. You never have.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Sure. So we'll get on to
Tell me one thing you ever questioned about the globe. One thing.
We'll get on
to hey, this don't make
personal
sense.
Stuff again straight away.
It's not a personal attack. It's just saying that you've never questioned it.
Yeah, I noticed that we just
Can you give an example?
Did a U-turn and drove right away from the face of the moon. When I asked you a question, we're sitting here.
Because it's irrelevant.
Dominate the live. And ask me all these questions.
It's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. I've posted a picture.
Okay, how is it relevant?
Because you claim it's a local moon.
Who? When did I say that?
You. It's part of the flat Earth.
Really?
So
is it a club? Where's the fucking notes, dude?
How far away is the moon then?
I don't know. There's no parallax. There's no way to tell.
That's just factually incorrect. So
it is. It is correct.
No. One wrong for Indio.
Okay, so show me some parallax measurements of the moon. Post them.
Why do I have to show you parallax measurements of the moon?
Because it's your claim that it exists,
it's
dude.
It's not my claim. It's how it is. You have to show me that
it's how it is. Okay, post the evidence that that's how it is.
Oh, my God.
Post your evidence. Oh, my God.
Post your evidence there is no brother. You cannot be serious that you think from one side of the Earth to the other, the moon isn't going to be in a different position in the sky. Are you serious? If you say yes, you're not qualified for this.
When I say parallax, I mean a shift, right? You know what a parallax shift is, right?
Oh, really? So if I hold my thumb out in front of my face and close one eye, right, and then swap and close to the other eye, is the tree that one eye blocking, did that just move? No, it didn't just move. Okay. My perspective moved, okay? The object doesn't move. That's what parallax is. Okay?
We know, but you
how things actually work, right? Okay. Rather than trying to confuse people and give them a different perspective.
No one's confusing.
Right, of what the truth.
You're confused.
Yeah, you are. You just made out.
You're confused. Yeah. Listen, a parallax shift.
Not talk over the middle of a sentence. You're utterly incapable of it.
Okay, what is a parallax shift as far as the moon? What would that look like? What would the observation be?
be in a different position in the sky as
Relative to what?
The observer.
Relative to the observer?
Correct.
Okay. Say you're on the North Pole, South Pole, looking at the moon at the same time. What's the amount of the parallax shift?
Can you have a look at the picture I posted in the pill?
Okay.
And I just got to get a drink. I'll be 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Actually, can't see the freaking pill. The flying fuck. I have to look at my phone. What the flying fuck, bro? Do you guys see that fucking diagram? Jesus H. Christ.
All right. So did you have a look at the photo I have in the...
It's hard for me to take that fucking seriously. Okay.
Just stick to the facts, mate.
What facts? And your diagram isn't facts.
So
you know what facts are? Well, you know what a fact is? It's when you make an actual observation in the physical and natural world and record the result. I am.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sticking to what you think a fact is. Observations are facts. Diagrams are not facts.
Okay.
Now,
so,
according...
No. Don't just keep talking, all right? Okay?
Yeah, show observations, dude.
So
that's what I want. I'm about evidence. I'm not about claims, dude. I'm about evidence. Data.
Right. Well, you claim that your boat was at this height. We got no proof of that. We got no proof that it was a 1-inch observer showing your little boat.
So watch the video. She measures the camera height on camera with a tape measure.
Yeah, that's great.
Measures the height of the boat with a tape measure.
The footage later on and show you a different.
Oh, is that what they did? Did they do that 20 more times?
Sure, that's what you do
every
time I present you with evidence. Okay, I'm showing you
what evidence?
I'm showing you a diagram of observations. I'm trying to explain it.
A diagram? Which observation? What date? What instrument?
Every single day that people can see the moon. You haven't even heard what I'm trying to explain about it yet, because you will not.
Dude, because this is silly, dude.
It's silly.
Because I want the evidence. I don't want your narration.
Guy who thinks there's no equator. So please, just look.
I know there's no equator.
Sure.
How did I prove there was no
diagram, and can I explain it to you, or not? You just want to?
Yeah, go for it. Explain it to me.
So the diagram is a diagram of observations. Okay? On the top one, that's the flat Earth with a local moon. The two people, the top guy would see a different face of the moon to what the guy on the bottom would see. Whereas on the globe at the bottom, of course, it's not the scale, right? They both see the same moon, even though they're on opposite sides of the world.
So if it's an observation, how did they make a not to scale observation?
What? Do you not understand?
This is not an observation. It's nothing like an observation. The moon is supposed to be 30 times the diameter of the Earth away. Okay?
Right.
This local moon shit, nobody believes in this. Why did you put the moon there?
To show you that if it wasn't at 230,
why don't you just put it on top of the flat Earth and debunk that?
Ask me a question. Do not start talking over me when I'm in the middle of answering it, okay? You asked me what this diagram is about. In the bottom one, if the moon isn't 238,000 miles away, you won't see the same face. If it's closer than that, we will see slightly different faces of the moon, and we don't.
Okay. I don't know how far the moon is away. We don't see this. We see one face of the moon, which necessitates that the moon must be far away. I don't claim that there's a local moon. And as far as, do you really want to go over the angles to the moon? You really want to go over that? Because you're gonna get fucked up. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because if you do the calculation, the moon's only 1,600 miles away.
That's complete nonsense. You've done your calculation.
Okay, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it based upon observation data
Whose
of
observation
moonrise
data?
and moonset, where it triangulates in 3D space that the moon's only 1,600 miles away. You ready? Hold on.
Yeah. So whose observations are these?
What do you mean whose observations? They come right off of time and date, bro. Timeanddate.com.
Yep. Okay.
And it's a globe earther that found this, not me. Not no flat earther. This ain't flat earth shit. Let me post it.
So while you're looking for it,
Yeah, hold on. No, I found it.
cool. So then why do we see the same face of the moon then if it's only 1,600 miles away?
Good question.
A damning question.
Well, I mean, how can it? Listen, you don't get it. It's like you're missing the forest through the trees. We see the same face of the moon, but if the Earth is a globe, right, that's spinning, and we see the moonrise and moonset, and we draw the angles to it, then it's only 1,600 miles away.
No, that's
right?
Right.
So that's a problem. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna post everything. Hold on, dude.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't make this up, dude. It didn't come from me.
Oh, so we can use other people's data.
This is from timeanddate.com. It's not data. It's a model.
It's not data. Okay.
Time and date is not data, dude.
Not
Data you take with an instrument.
Information.
Well, it's a model. It's an observer-centric model.
What is data?
Data is a record of observations or measurements or something like that.
And data is a single piece of information without relevance to anything. 16, that's data, right? How old is the person? They're 16.
I think that's a number, dude.
How old is the person? They are 16 years old. That's information.
Okay. Listen, you need at least a relationship between one thing and another to call it data.
No. Data
Just the number 16 isn't data. What does it contain for data? Where's the information?
It's not information until it's collated into information. Data is raw stuff.
Okay, so I posted in the chat. Now this comes from timeanddate.com. So if you draw the tangents from that ball to where they intersect, then the moon is 1,862.6365 miles from Earth.
All right, what am I looking at here?
So you understand that she used moonset and moonrise, right? So that would be a tangent, your line of sight, going through the horizon to the moon. And on the other side, right, when moonset to the moon. Well, those lines of sight should intersect at the moon. So you can draw that triangle. calculate your baseline, the chord of the arc between your points, and then calculate how far the moon is away. Now, this is a globe earther. This isn't a flat earther. And actually, I'm pretty sure she's at the time she did this, she was getting her master's in physics. What is any of this evidence of? Not a damn thing. We can talk about the moon all day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely matters. Can you step me through the picture of the globe where it's got the last sight and the moon thing? Can you step me through that picture? Because I'm not seeing enough information on there to be able to make this calculation.
Okay, so I posted two. Right?
I've got it open on my screen. The big one with the circle, and it's got the two lines intersecting where the moon would be. Can you step me through that picture?
Which the diagram?
Yes, the drawing that the person did.
The tangents are the line of sight to the moon.
Yeah, can you step me through all the numbers?
They position the tangents based upon the latitude and longitude of the observer.
Right.
Okay, and that's in the preceding info. That's in the other document. That's in the other screenshot. There's two screenshots there.
Why aren't they on this picture?
These are moonrise moonset times from Greenwich Borough, UK, August 2021, 551:48 north latitude. These are moonrise moonset times from Stanley Falkland Islands, August 2021 at 51:69 north latitude. So for these times, this moonset, moonrise, those lines of sight should intersect at the moon. That would put the moon 1,600 miles away.
So
now, and the reason it doesn't make sense to you is because you have a presupposition. You have a presuppose that looking in the sky is identical to observations we make on Earth, and there's no evidence for that. In fact, the evidence is against it.
No, it's not.
No, okay. It is because there's no parallax to any celestial object, including the moon. Okay, you just think there is. But if I went on the North Pole and South Pole and looked to see if there was any shift against background stars, there wouldn't be one. Okay. Nobody in astronomy even claims there is one. They admit there's no parallax to the sun. They think they calculated parallax to the stars based upon a theory, not because it's actually observed.
That's just wrong.
Okay, then what's stellar aberration?
No, I don't know what the.
Yeah. Okay, you're just saying it's wrong. You're just not eyeing me left and right.
Because it's not true that there's no parallax to the sun.
It's not. Yeah, because you said so.
Well, you said so.
Yeah, I did say so. Okay. I said it's theory. I said it's calculated. It's not naively observed. It's based on calculation.
What?
Based upon an orbit.
No, it's not. The calculation comes from the observation. We see it happen, and we try and work out what it is. We don't just make shit up.
What do you see? What do you see happen? What's the observation?
That the sun is in a different position if you're on one side of the planet to the other. If I'm at sunset and you're at sunrise, right? So we're 180 degrees, we're on opposite sides of the planet. You see the sun in a different position of the sky to what I see it.
And
yeah, so you can calculate its distance from that difference.
No, you can't. It's well known.
Right. So
you can't.
So
I'm going to post drawing a line from you. Just me.
Hang on.
I'm going to post from the Astronomical Journal. Okay.
Drawing a line from.
I'm going to post from the Astronomical Journal. Okay.
No, you can just keep talking through me. That's fine. Okay, it's what you do.
Yeah, I'm going to post from the Astronomical Journal. You're talking out your ass.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You tell me what you believe to be true, but you don't know it to be true.
That's all you do. You say what you want to be true, but you don't ever.
So this is from the solar. This is Harold Weaver.
You tell people they're
the
lying.
The solar parallax research of the Astronomical Society of the Pacific. Okay. This is a post from Harvard.edu. They cannot measure distance to the sun using parallax.
Yeah, it cannot measure distance to the sun using parallax.
Yeah,
so there's parallax.
Yeah. Parallax. How we want to measure the distance to something on Earth.
Okay, so
Yeah, there's no parallax to measure.
Oh, is that what you meant? Oh, you misspoke. Right. Okay.
I didn't misspeak. Okay, there's no parallax to measure. Any parallax that astronomy says exists comes from theory and calculation. It doesn't come from observation, and it comes from two things: theory of an orbit and theory of stellar aberration, which also comes from a theory of an orbit. So all the stars are in apparent positions. They're not in their true positions. They're in apparent positions.
Well, could you not say
Same
that?
with the sun, same with the moon, all that shit. Everything in the sky is an illusion. You've never seen a sunset in your life, according to the globe. When you see a sunset, it's already over the horizon. Yeah, didn't you know that?
What does that matter?
What is that? Because the entire sky is an optical illusion to you.
It's not an optical illusion. So we see it going over the horizon, a few seconds after it actually goes over the horizon. Still going over the horizon. Minutes, fine. Minutes. It's still going over the horizon.
Look, when you see the sunset, it's almost 2 solar diameters under the horizon physically, according to the globe.
So what?
So what?
Yeah,
So you're seeing a refracted holographic image of the sun.
Holographic? Well, hang on, what? The sun's... all right, okay.
Look, if the stars have apparent positions because of stellar aberration, and the sun has apparent positions based upon refraction, and the planets have apparent positions because of proper motion, everything that is in the sky is an optical fucking illusion. And according to you guys, you think the looking flat is also an optical illusion.
What? Sorry? What was that?
The Earth looking flat is also an optical illusion.
No, not so much an optical illusion. It's because it's so big to us. It looks flat. I mean, if you stood in the middle of a hula hoop, okay, and you look down at it, right, it looks like a ring. Okay, now pick that up and hold it up at eye level. Okay, it's flat. That's what you're actually seeing when you look out at the horizon. You're seeing the radius of how far the horizon is. It looks flat. And on the Earth, the size that it is, that's what is predicted.
That's what is predicted?
Yes.
That it looks flat from sea level?
Yes.
Want to know what also looks flat?
The horizon looks flat. From left to right, the horizon.
Want to know what also looks flat? Flat things look flat.
Yeah, but we can't.
You know that? Flat things look flat?
Yeah. Flat things look flat.
Yeah. So you think the flat thing that looks flat is not a flat thing that is flat. It's actually a curved thing.
Through other things, through other means. We don't just go.
Yeah, but
it looks flat, so it's curved. And simplifying it to that is, I don't know.
It's what? That's not the situation.
Disingenuous, because we didn't just go, oh, it looks flat, so it's curved. That's what you make it sound.
Okay, so they measured the curve.
Yeah,
and that's how they figured it out.
Yeah, it gets measured daily.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah,
tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it, bro.
Yeah, have you ever watched Barron?
God, Barron's a dope, just like the rest of the fucking surveyors. They don't even know it.
Because he shows you.
No, he's a dope.
Because he shows you to be completely wrong. That's why he's a dope.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, no, he doesn't know how his own fucking profession works. Just like all the fucking other surveyors.
But you do.
Ask him. Oh, yeah, I do.
Right. So have you got
Ask him what reduction of the vertical, ask him what the reduction of the horizontal direction is.
The guy doesn't.
Watch him freaking go. Huh?
Right. Sure.
Okay, so there's something called reduction of the horizontal direction. After you take a measurement, this is what you're supposed to do. This changes the azimuth, meaning the direction you're pointed, because according to the globe...
Don't really care about all this nonsense, okay?
Of course, because you don't know. I'm going to tell you, I'm showing you why they don't actually measure... Well, we can just cut it like really short. If they measure the Earth as a curvature, what's the reference ellipsoid for?
No idea.
They wouldn't need it if they're just measuring an ellipsoid. Why do they have a reference ellipsoid? What's that for?
What's that got to do with anything?
Because they're not measuring anything. They're making measurements and projecting them onto a reference ellipsoid, the same way you map a texture onto a 3D model in a video game.
So would that not be so? I've never even heard of a reference ellipsoid, but at a guess, I'm saying
WGS84 reference ellipsoid.
Right. So is that so? There is a static place that it can be measured against.
No, it's a reference ellipsoid. It's created to project measurements onto its surface. It could make the reference frickin' dolphin. Project measurements onto that surface. Project any surface onto any other surface, or map any surface onto any other surface. The way they map the measurements onto the globe surface is they curve plumb lines, which
they what?
Mr. Barron that you talked about, they curve the plumb line.
Sure they do.
You don't believe me?
How do you curve a plumb line?
Yeah, you tell me. They do in geodetic surveying. And that's funny, you're Barron, and none of these other geodetic surveys know anything about it.
But
it's in the literature.
You seriously?
Yeah, it's in the literature.
It's in the literature. Hang on.
Yeah, it's in the geodetic surveying literature.
Hang on. So 1 minute, right? My diagram is a diagram. That's not relevant when it's of observations. But now you're saying it's in the literature. Have you ever watched a surveyor doing their work?
Dude, my friend, when he was 17-year-old and still in high school, surveyed.
Oh, goodness.
If you're putting them up on some fucking pedestal, good luck to you, because any freaking monkey can do that shit.
Was that the question I asked?
Yes, I have.
So you've seen what they do when they get over the, is it GOP or something, when they get over that marked position that's been put there, so they know exactly where the theodolite is being put.
You mean the control point?
Is that what it's
called? Geodetic control point?
Sure. Yep.
It's weird. You're in Australia. You guys use a completely different datum. In fact, one of the major guys that talks about deflection of the vertical and curvature of the plumb line is from Australia. His name is Featherstone. Publishes all the time.
Sure.
About this problem. It's called use and abuse of deflection of the vertical.
Right,
so the reciprocal zenith angle thing is a deflection of the vertical created by a curved plumb, created by what you would call lumpy gravity.
Sorry, what?
So hold on a second. I'm going to post curved plumb lines in the chat. Oh, there it is. So this diagram is straight out of the geodetic surveying. This is deflection of the vertical. This dashed line is the plumb line, the direction of gravity. But the problem is you got this reference ellipsoid. It has to intersect the reference ellipsoid at 90 degrees or you're going to get distortions. So they have to curve the plumb line. So that means horizontal, right, is not parallel to the surface of the earth, and vertical, the direction of gravity, is not perpendicular to the surface of the earth in geodetic surveying. So things like reciprocal zenith angles don't mean anything, would only mean something if you had a 90 degrees from the surface of the earth, which geodetic surveying disavows.
I'll have to take your word for that. I don't know enough about surveying.
Yeah, well, okay. A lot of people don't. It's a complex issue.
Yeah,
that's why it's a complex issue. It just is. Coordinates, maps, all that shit, they're complex issues.
Okay, so maps and stuff, maybe not so complex. I'm just looking at that. That's really interesting stuff. I didn't know about this deflection of and the bent plumb line. Good information. I'll definitely go and have a look into that. I'm talking more about when somebody puts a theodolite up and they set it at exactly vertical, and in the distance they should be pointing at whatever like if their theodolite's at 5 foot, they should be looking at the distance 5 foot away. Yeah, in the distance. To say 5 miles away, it should be 5 foot away, and it's not. There's drop, and the drop, it calculates exactly to the curvature of the Earth. They move their point to there.
That's not true.
It is completely true.
No, it's not true at all.
It is completely true.
Okay, then there would be no such thing as measurement error.
Oh, there's refraction. There's refraction, and
every measurement would freaking match.
You can't be spot on with with refraction, right? You can make an
Now
estimate
it's
of the time.
refraction. Is it curve or refraction? Which one is it?
Well, there's both. Do they have to be exclusive? Can you only have one?
Well, first thing, I already demonstrated that the plumb, so the first thing you do when you get a theodolite is you level the instrument. But leveling it means getting the plumb right. You're getting the vertical. That vertical is not perpendicular to the surface of the Earth in the first instance.
How so? How is that not perpendicular?
Because there's lumpy gravity. They say that the gravity's lumpy.
Not to that extent where you're setting up where you've got a thing that's got that has two axes of level, and you make it level. Like it's got a front and back level and a left and right level. You make them both level. It's perpendicular to the surface of the Earth.
Not according to geodetic surveying. They have something called the geoid. Have you heard of the geoid?
Yeah, I know that gravity isn't exactly perfect all over the planet, but do you really think that's enough to cause?
Yes.
It
is
8 inches per mile square every time.
Yeah,
it just
nobody measures 8 inches per mile squared.
I know they don't. I was using a flat Earth term. 1 degree per.
Yeah, nobody measures that though.
1 degree per 69 miles, however you want to see it. That's what we see all the time, repeatedly. Okay.
You're just saying that, dude.
No, it's not.
That is not true, even remotely. If that was true, trigonometric leapfrog surveying wouldn't work, but it does.
What wouldn't work?
It's called trigonometric heighting.
Yep.
Also known as leapfrog surveying.
Yep, I can gather what that is.
Yeah, that wouldn't work at all.
Why wouldn't that work?
Because you're just sighting in at 6 feet and just leapfrogging over and over and over again. You couldn't maintain that line.
Couldn't maintain what line?
The 6 foot line above the surface of the Earth, because the surface of the Earth would be curving down.
Right, and are you claiming that they do go in a straight line? They don't.
Yeah. I'm not claiming it. I wish Apocryphon, I'd pull him up. He was here. He does this for a living.
Sure, I'd really like to see that data because somebody's confusing something somewhere.
Leapfrog surveying is well known. It's called trigonometric heighting. Okay. Look, the idea that things don't get compressed down because of the meteorological conditions is silly. Okay. They don't sight in exactly where you said they do. And even you said there's refraction. We know things get compressed in the distance visually. We know this because there's something called the flattening of the sun. Okay. The sun gets compressed at the horizon, right? Swishes. Why is that?
No, I've never seen.
Right. I actually took some video last week. I got a windmill, so the windmill is cut off where you can't even see the hub of the windmill. I took a photo or a video 30 minutes later, 40 minutes later, and I can see the windmill clear as day completely.
Right.
Yeah. The point is that if you saw it, you'd go, hey man, I can't see that windmill because it's behind the curve of the Earth. But if you were to look 40 minutes later, suddenly the Earth would have uncurved.
We've been over these kinds of topics 100 times, so refraction has lifted it up.
Okay. Why would you say refraction lifted it up?
Because that's how refraction works.
It is.
That's right.
And you know this how?
Through experimentation.
Okay. What experimentation?
Of demonstrating refraction in science class and seeing a bazillion videos of it.
Yeah, but that's not terrestrial refraction, okay? That's different. The air is a single medium, right? And the changes in the refractive index of air is in the 5th decimal place. So it isn't like air to glass or air to water. That's like 0.30. We're talking like 0.1 million, dude. When I say in the 5th decimal place, so refraction is caused by 2 refracting mediums, and they have a different refractive index, and then it gets displaced when it transitions from one to the other. And the ratio of the difference of the refractive index determines how much it gets displaced. In air, if you change the temperature like 1 degree, it'll be, let's say, 1.00000.27 versus 1.0000029. Okay?
Right.
It's infinitesimal. It's an infinitesimal difference.
But it's not, temperature affects the medium, but it's the medium that affects the refraction. So temperature isn't solely.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Okay, what you've heard and what you've been told. The fact is, there's no evidence for it, and in fact, all the empirical data taken to quantify this terrestrial refraction is against the claim that shit bends around the curve, that light bends around the curve and gets lifted up. You know, there actually is people that have tested this out there in the academia.
Right.
And I'll give you a specific one, right? So one, they did LiDAR measurements of a landslide done over a 24-hour period, and they measured the max deflection. They measured the deflection of the light as it arrived as an angle. So the highest deflections they measured during this 24-hour period was 0.0027 degrees. So at a 25 miles, that would be a displacement equal to 8 feet. You guys claim shit is lifted up miles and hundreds of feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no basis for that. None.
There is plenty of basis for it. I mean, you've seen it yourself. What's that footage of that lake with the shore shifting up and down? That's way more than the percentage you just quoted. You guys,
hundreds of feet.
You guys show that because it's over a relatively short distance.
Are you talking about Skunk Bay? Is that one?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. That might be it.
Yeah, but that's obviously that's caused by turbulence. That's obviously very turbulent meteorological effects, and that's rare. That's obviously not observed all the time. And that's a different thing. Watching the horizon shift is different than picking up from behind something. It's a little bit different, right?
So yeah. So.
And have you ever considered that there's
what do you mean it's very turbulent?
Effects?
I'm watching a really plain lake. There isn't even white caps on the lake.
No, it's called there's something called turbulence, right? Like when you see like a hot road and the heat is making it shimmer, and that's turbulence. When you see a star twinkle, that's turbulence.
So I'm watching the shoreline lift up.
It's called scintillation, technically.
I'm watching the shoreline lift up. What would be the equivalent of 20 or 30 meters? This shoreline, it covers the entire peninsula at some points. So the refraction covers the entire peninsula at some points. Man, that's huge. That is massive refraction. Like, what is this? What is the distance?
I see Skunk Bay.
It's huge. That is a massive amount of refraction over such a short distance. I googled Skunk Bay refraction.
Yeah. I got my own, dude. So, hold on. Did you post it in there? Because I'm gonna post one.
Oh no,
I'm gonna post.
Sure.
I'll do it.
Cool.
I got it.
Cool.
I got it ready. Everybody knows what the hell we're talking about. Nah, that is not moving 20 meters. That land isn't even 20, 60 feet tall. Across Skunk Bay. That land is like 30 feet tall, maybe. Maybe it moves 10 meters. I'll give you that. But that's nothing.
over that distance. So what did you say was in the millionths of?
No, the difference in the refraction index of 1 degree temperature. This is probably a 20-degree temperature difference between the water's probably super cool and the air is probably very warm, or vice versa.
So, but it can happen.
Yeah, but you would see this moving up and down. This is obviously something's going on here. It's obvious.
Yeah, refraction's happening. That's what's going on.
You can see an inferior mirage. Right?
Whatever if you want to use names to try and obfuscate what's going on, that's fine. But
no, an inferior mirage is a double image, right? You can see an inferior mirage. I can clearly see it. It's not obfuscating. Okay? And there's other effects that we would see if terrestrial refraction was happening the way they said it is, especially for distances of hundreds of miles. So like Canigou, right? Some of the images of Canigou is 412 kilometers. Okay, it's a 10-hour drive.
Right.
Think about something that's 412 kilometers from you and seeing it through a camera. Okay, so over that long distance, there's other, if there was refraction lifting it up, you should see other things, namely something called chromatic aberration. That's how a prism works, right? Separates the colors of light. You had a lot of refraction happen picking it up, especially that long-ass optical path of 400 kilometers. You would see red on top and blue on the bottom. This does happen in astronomy, and you actually make correctors for this for your telescope called astronomical dispersion correctors. But we don't ever see this with land, ever.
I
mean, we just don't. And even in fact, there's one where the dude used the apochromatic telescope. And the apochromatic telescope, it's designed so that this dispersion where you see the color banding doesn't happen, and he doesn't see it at all. So if it would happen, it would have to happen in the environment. Someone could always say it happened at the telescope, but he used the apochromatic telescope and it still didn't happen. So
I just posted 3 images there.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm looking at the sort of the white, looks like a Lego block building in the middle of it. If that's a normal building, to me that looks like a several-story building. I don't know what's there in that town. So, and then the second picture, even more so. Yeah, they look like multi-story buildings. Me. I could be wrong, but to me they look like multi-story buildings. And then the last picture, they're all gone.
Do you think you're behind the horizon? They're just compressed.
Yeah, I know.
All that visual information is squished. Yeah, it's just squished.
It's refraction lifting up the ground.
Which part is refraction lifting up the ground? The horizon is behind this.
Yeah, so it's lifting up the ground in between it. It's lifting up like the ocean. That's what it looks like to me. I can see, I've noticed, look, the mountains in the background don't seem to move very much at all. But it's not a very high observer height either. So,
well, all I see is the image getting compressed and stretched like there's an inferior mirage in between here and there, in between the camera and there.
But it's not happening.
It's not unusual. Inferior mirages aren't unusual. They happen all the time. All you need is like a 10-degree temperature difference. But that's way different than lifting something up miles, especially if you're at elevated height, right? So the Canigou shots are from 9,000 feet. They're from the French Pyrenees to the French Alps, 9,000 feet to 13,000 feet.
And how big is the mountain that you're looking at? I don't know this photograph that you're talking about. We talk about peak.
Yeah, they're 13,000 feet. Yeah, they're 13,000 feet. So they're looking from the French Pyrenees, which is like on the Spanish border, across what's called the Gulf of Lyon, which is like where Marseille and all that shit is in France, to the French Alps, which are all the way on the other side.
You know, my question was, when you look at the photograph, how big does the mountain look? Can you just see a little bit of it?
Oh, they're tiny. They're far away, dude. They took one to like 400 fucking millimeter telescope, 800 millimeter telescope.
Right, so they're
far away.
Yeah, so you know they're on the ground, so to speak.
They're as far away as the ISS would be. Let's put it that way.
So is what you're seeing not passing through ground level refraction?
No, they're on top of a mountain.
Yeah, but you're
9,000 feet.
Yeah, let me see if I can find this picture so I can show you.
Hold on, dude. There's one of them. This next one, taken with an apochromatic telescope. I ain't that fucker. I ain't that fucking bad. God damn it. Okay, there.
I cannot.
So, yeah, so the important thing to notice is that from this position, the horizon should be 127 miles from the camera. That is in the ocean.
Right. So which picture am I looking at, man? Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is
either one of them,
is it? Radio.
Yeah, two of them. Well, I mean, one is in the same area. It's from a different mountains called Peak. What the hell's the name?
By the Krenz.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with this photo, so I'm familiar with Peak Gaspard, though. Do you know that photograph?
One is Peak Finestral in the Pyrenees, which is, and the other one to Peak Gaspard, and the other one's Canigou to the other one. I don't know what the name of that is. So this is a mountain. The Peak Finestral is a mountain behind the Canigou Mountain. It's further away.
Right.
So I was able to get the weather conditions from when these pictures are possible. And it turns out that low humidity, high pressure, that's all it takes. So the humidity is down like 30%, and the pressure is super high. So they got a high pressure system and low humidity. So there's a bunch of these. There's some taken in infrared. So the point is that like the thing to remember, like I said, the horizon is supposed to end in the water. Like there should be like a well-defined water horizon and like some mountains sticking up from behind it. You can obviously see lights all the way on the other side on the shore, which should be under the horizon because the shore is something like 140 miles away.
Sure. So I'll just put in the pill, something that I have looked into a lot because I don't know the
Okay.
Mountain.
I'll check it.
One.
Really, the first time you've seen that? It's pretty classic.
Yeah, no, I've heard him.
I'm surprised.
But I'm looking at the world record photograph, so I have heard Canigou. I've never.
Yeah, one of those is the world record photograph. Yeah. God damn, I gotta scroll down. I gotta sort this in better. You just posted something?
In the pill, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
So this would be my question to flat earthers. If we know the law of perspective, right? Double the distance, half the size.
Yeah.
So Peak Gaspard is 443 kilometers away.
You do realize there's mountains in the foreground, right? That are something like 100 miles closer.
Whatever. Peak Gaspard is, let's just call it 4,000 meters for the sake of the conversation. We know that's not spot on, but 443 kilometers away, 4,000 meters tall. Right? To the left is Grand Ferrand, right, which is 3,000 meters, let's say. It's 2,758, but let's just say 3,000. And it's 392 kilometers away. So it's only 51 kilometers closer, yet it's 3.5 times the size of Peak Gaspard.
And
Well, that's not perspective. Double the distance, half the size.
yeah,
It would have to be 3.5 times further away to appear to be that size.
I want to take a look at this. Hold on. I'm going to show you something, but I just want to look at this. Is super fucking small. Well, you did hear me say that things get compressed with distance visually, right? Not only we know it, it's demonstrated by the flattening of the sun. And I can show you this specific place.
We're talking about
it happening.
We're talking about this.
I can show you it happening in this specific place.
What do you mean?
By comparing an infrared photograph with a visible light photograph, and one is compressed versus the other, taken 5 minutes apart.
Right, I don't see point.
The point is that a naive saying, hey, perspective should do this, there's meteorological conditions. Perspective is just a rule of thumb.
Right, there's meteorological conditions like refraction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, refraction's an oversimplification.
But
it's not just refraction.
So meteorological conditions can work in your favour, but no other at no other time. You're in your favour that contradicts what the rest of science says.
No, because we can demonstrate our claims experimentally, whereas you can't demonstrate yours. That's the difference. You can't demonstrate something with experimentally of a curved surface being made to look flat, an object from behind a curved surface appearing in front of the horizon of that curved surface. For example, there's a video with a butane tank where they have a piece of clay and they take the butane and then the piece of clay lifts up and you can see more of it. Can you get the edge of that butane tank to be behind it? To be behind a piece of clay?
No, I can't. I'm not picturing what you're saying.
Well, there's a butane. They take a big butane tank, right? And they take like a piece of clay that's red, blue, and yellow, like different colors.
Yep.
And you can only see the very top of it. It's behind the edge of the top of the butane tank.
Right.
The butane tank's on its side, right?
Yep.
So it's a nice straight line.
Yep.
Like a curved surface, right? Nice curved horizon. They spray butane, which is a high refractive index. It's like 0.4, and it's freezing cold. So it goes up so you can see the yellow and the green.
So it lifted.
Right?
So it lifted the clay up.
That's right.
Thanks.
But the edge of that, the horizon, never changed. Never changed. Right? So You have to be able to make the horizon go behind the clay.
What?
The edge of the tank has to be able to get refraction, has to make the edge of the tank go behind the clay.
No, that's not right.
Okay. So when we do an observation of oil rigs at 10 miles away, when the horizon should be 1 mile away, right? And the horizon's beyond 10 miles and the oil rigs are in front of that horizon. How did the horizon get from in front to behind?
Because the refraction's happening at the oil rig and lifting the oil.
Okay, so what
in your
lifting the oil rig,
when they did the
but it has to
butane, they put the cold onto the butane tank. Is that correct?
they've used cold butane, yeah.
Yeah, so the refraction is happening at the tank.
Yeah, right on the surface of the tank.
Yeah, I'm not.
They spray it.
I'm not
Okay,
understanding.
it's a liquid butane.
Yeah.
They spray it on the surface of the tank. Because it's so cold, it evaporates. Okay? Butane has a refractive index of something like
I'm not understanding why you think this is a point for you.
because you have to move the edge of that butane tank behind the clay. Just like you move behind the oil rig.
No, you don't have to move it behind. So if you lifted up the bottom of if you actually physically lifted the clay up so you could almost see the bottom of it, when they put the butane stuff, when they made the tank cold and the refraction happened, you would see the bottom of the clay.
Okay, that's cool, but the edge of that tank is still always in front of that clay. It's never behind it.
No, but if you had the bottom of the clay only just out of sight, when you made the refraction happen, you would see the bottom of the clay.
So
Ipso facto, you would see the bottom of the rig.
So you're saying that you could, if you had a higher refractive index medium, like freaking super cold butane, let's say it's negative 200 degrees.
No, if you just position the clay differently, because what was it to scale with what the black swan photograph was? No, it wasn't. They've just put a bit of clay there, and they're showing you how it lifts up. The fact that you can't see
there's no scale at which anybody's demonstrated. My point is, there's no demonstration that this is even possible.
It's a moot point. The fact that you can't see the bottom of the clay is just where they positioned the clay in the first place.
Listen. The black swan in the oil rigs isn't about the oil rigs being blocked. It's about the horizon being in front or behind the oil rig. They're supposed to be in front, but it's behind. It moved 10 miles. You understand? The horizon, whether blocked or not,
I don't know if you're intentionally misunderstanding this.
And instead it seemed larger than 10.
I don't know if you're intentionally misunderstanding it or what, but...
The black swan, I helped create it.
Well done. Good for you. So if they place the clay, right, so they've placed the clay too far, so when they make the refraction happen, it's too low for you to see the bottom of the clay. Whereas in the black swan, it's only just below the surface, so when the refraction happens, you can see the bottom of the oil rigs.
I'm not talking about the bottom of the oil rigs. I'm talking about the horizon distance.
If you can see the bottom of the oil rigs, right, then the horizon isn't in between you. The horizon is past the oil rigs.
Okay, that's fine. Say the horizon would be right at the bottom of the oil rigs. It doesn't matter. It should be in front of the oil rigs, period.
But it's refraction
that
happening, and your experiment proved
the line where the sky appears to meet the Earth should be 1 mile away. It's 10 miles away.
And
no one's been able to demonstrate that you can do this in any experiment, that you can move the edge of that butane tank further away or uncurl the butane tank or move the fucking surface around. But no one's ever demonstrated that that's even possible.
That's ridiculous. You're being silly there saying that, because that's not what it's about.
Okay, show me. I'm open.
You've lifted the clay up. It shows that
more than lifting up. That's only one part of it. You have to move the horizon too.
By lifting it up, you are moving the horizon. If you could see the bottom of I think what you're picturing is that the butane tank is the horizon always, and the butane tank would have to physically move behind the clay. Now, if you lifted up that clay so you could see the bottom of
visually,
right?
Move behind the clay visually. visually move behind the clay.
If you lifted up the clay so you could see the bottom of it,
Yeah, don't make sense, does
the,
it?
the horizon is back behind the clay now.
Is it? Well, in that video, the edge of that butane tank does not fucking move.
It doesn't need to.
Well, how would it get behind the clay if it doesn't move?
Oh my God.
How?
Is the clay sitting on the butane tank?
Yeah.
It's sitting on the butane tank.
Uh-huh.
And you can't see the bottom of it when they do it.
No.
So clearly not to scale with how far away Black Swan would be.
You're right.
On the planet.
You're right. It's not to scale.
So it's
in fact,
you've got butane
it's
tank
a non-physical.
About 60 centimeters in diameter, and they've placed the clay at about, if you were looking at the canister, like so you could see the round end of it. They've placed the clay where? At 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they've placed it halfway around the planet. Not halfway, of course, but they've placed it thousands of miles away, in equivalent to the Earth. That should be
great. And the freaking clay is also fucking 500 miles tall.
So if you're going to use a clock, you would be placing the clay at 11:59 and 59 seconds.
Okay. So you do realize they're using butane, which has a refractive index of 1.4 or 1.34. Okay. It's something like 3 million times greater than the difference in air.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is to say that
so
the butane tank as the horizon needs to physically move behind the clay is not correct. That's not what needs to happen to justify.
If you want to demonstrate, if you want to replicate what we see in nature, that's what needs to be demonstrated.
Then you would need to place the clay at the right spot.
Okay. Well, I mean, go for it.
Okay, cool. So
that's what I'm talking about.
So
we've demonstrated. We've demonstrated. Okay. Well, we've demonstrated all the things that Goldberg says is impossible on a flat Earth. We've demonstrated experimentally that it is possible on a flat Earth.
It's not a valid experiment.
All the things, all the excuses you guys say, like refraction's lifting things up in front of the horizon, all this shit. You can't demonstrate that experimentally. In fact, the very fact you have to use butane in which is a non-normal condition, right? The fact you have to use a special case means you can't prove the general case.
Yeah, the Earth isn't also metal either. Okay, it's an experiment to show how refraction works and lifts things up. Okay, but you just acknowledged right, that it wasn't to scale, acceptably to scale. It's not a valid experiment. Okay, you said that the tank has to physically move behind the clay. Right? That is just not true. Yes, you did. I specifically asked you that question, and you
and I specifically said no.
Oh my gosh!
I recorded this. Don't lie. Okay, I specifically said no explicitly. Okay, no, the tank does not have to physically move behind the clay. That would be stupid. Okay, it has to visually move behind the clay. And the fact, you're right. I agree. This isn't to scale. It isn't anything like normal Earth conditions, and you still can't demonstrate it. You understand? You still can't demonstrate it.
We can absolutely demonstrate refraction happening with air, not just using water and stuff. I mean, I've got a video myself of using water to do it, to explain how refraction works. But it's
in air, that is a red herring. That's not what I mean. And that's not what I mean. Meaning you can't demonstrate refraction doing the things you claim are happening. Making the horizon look further away, lifting things up over the horizon, curving around the ball, any one of those things that you say, and not just you, shouldn't even say you, I should say globe earthers in general, those claims have no evidence that they're even possible. The idea exists solely in abstract theory, and if you had a theory anyway, you'd have to prove it by experiment, which there are none. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no empirical evidence for this refraction claim. None. People say, account for refraction. I go, how would I account for it? Nobody can give me the answer.
There's no physical proof that refraction exists.
Not refraction, terrestrial refraction.
Right.
So there's a qualifier
just looking
there.
at Skunk Bay as you say that.
Well, no, terrestrial refraction is a specific type. It implies that there's a spherically symmetric. Okay. Yeah. It implies. It's based upon there's a spherically symmetric atmosphere with a vertical pressure gradient, and because there's a vertical pressure gradient, light curves around the Earth. That. So you know how silly that idea is, right? You're literally saying, not you, the royal you, gravity formed the Earth into a ball, and then it made the air on the ball form a pressure gradient, and that pressure gradient bent light such that ball looks flat.
No. So
gravity not only made a ball, it made a flat-looking ball.
It looks flat because of the size of it. Okay, from our perspective, we stand on the ground, we look out, it looks flat. Okay, but we see ships going over the horizon, which can demonstrate to us.
Yeah, you just reset.
No.
Already destroyed that, dude.
No.
We don't see ships go over the horizon, and you've never seen that, I guarantee it.
When I try and respond, you interrupt. Can you please stop doing that?
Well, you just reset to the beginning, dude. I already refuted that, dude. You think you get a mulligan, you get to do it again?
I'm trying to explain to you why you're wrong. Well, the whole thing you just blurted out is just a whole lot of misconceptions all strung together, and you clap your hands and go victory. You say refraction making things appear so we can see a bit further. You're saying that your atmosphere makes you see around the curve. You just say it in a different way to make it sound unbelievable. Effectively correct, but
it is unbelievable.
It's not unbelievable. And you say we've got
no reason
demonstration at all. We've got no demonstration or refraction happening. I pulled up the video that you guys use, Skunk Bay. All right, clearly visible refraction happening with the mountains in the background moving, not nearly as much as the beach on that peninsula, but it's clearly moving up and down. Demonstrated refraction, lifting things up in the distance.
That's right.
Yeah, and you said there's no demonstration of it whatsoever. You said there is no demonstration.
No, there's no demonstration of terrestrial refraction curving shit around the ball. I gave specific examples. Listen, Skunk Bay doesn't extend the horizon. The horizon doesn't suddenly jump in front of that freaking bay or in front of the land and jump behind it.
It doesn't have to jump in front of it. It's just a ridiculous claim to make it sound impossible, and it doesn't even make sense. The horizon jump in front of the bay.
What is the horizon distance on the globe?
Whatever, man. Depends on the.
It's 1.22 miles times the square root of the observer's height in feet.
Yeah, wow, whatever.
Okay, well, that's what it is.
Yep.
So if you have a 1 foot observer height, the horizon should be 1.22 miles away.
Right, but we're not going to include
the oil rigs.
Terrestrial refraction that is in the Skunk Bay.
Okay, let's move it to 1.46 miles away because that's where it moves to. 1.46 miles. How does it get 10 miles?
I don't know, man. With refraction.
Yeah, how does it get to 10 miles?
Yeah, there is a maximum refraction, and I don't know, maximum theoretical refraction has ever been observed, but it can go a really long freaking way. It's not ridiculous, but it's believable.
Well, let me ask you this then. Is there any observation of the horizon which cannot be explained away by refraction?
Not that anyone's ever actually proven to have seen, like, say, for argument's sake, the world.
What if you saw the horizon like 50 miles away?
Interrupt me when I'm answering the question, okay? Like Pete Gaspard, okay?
Oh, you're finished.
That's the furthest anyone has seen that can prove that they could see that far.
How far?
The Pete Gaspard photograph. That's the furthest anyone can.
Oh, no, there's a 308-mile one.
Why isn't it in the world record? Why isn't it in the Guinness Book then?
I don't think they're in the Guinness Book, quite honestly.
What's that?
I mean, maybe it is. Guinness Book requires like a person being there, like one of their officials. I very seriously doubt that they did that because you have to climb to the top of fucking Peak Gaspard, dude. Good luck. Or you got to climb to the top of Peak Fenestrel. It's not an easy hike. I doubt they freaking piggyback some freaking Guinness official up to the top of the mountain. Or freaking helicoptered them up there.
Longest line of sight Earth, Spain.
You know what it says in the Southern Ocean Sailing Guide?
Pete Gaspard photograph
That's not uncommon.
is in the Guinness World Record.
Right.
It's the Guinness World Record.
Right, but that's not the furthest one I've seen. I've seen 308. That's what I'm telling you.
What's that photograph?
It was taken of, there's a lighthouse, Gargalia lighthouse.
Anyway, it's
on Corsica, the island of Corsica.
We've got a long way from.
Someone took it from 308.
You
you can
justifying the size of Pete Gaspard compared to Grand Ferrand.
Yeah.
That was my original.
There's optical compression because it's further away, dude. It's going to appear compressed, just like the sun does. I never actually posted that shit.
Do you have any numbers that can justify the size of Pete Gaspard in the photograph? Yeah, like any validated experiment that shows that this much compression can happen and it would justify Pete Gaspard being.
Well, I mean, literally the sun has become a line on the horizon. That's a half a degree.
I highly doubt that.
We see in angles. We don't see in absolute sizes.
So then we can throw the whole observation thing completely out the window then. So Black Swan, we throw that out the window.
Black Swan, throw it out the window. Well, you can throw it out the window, but you have to throw out like 13 replications by one guy and like 200 by Pablo's dog.
Gotcha. So
that he's been
your
doing
observations
for 2 years.
are valid.
That he's been doing for 2 years.
The globe Earth photographs aren't valid. I got it.
What photographs? What globe Earth photographs?
I'm asking you about Pete Gaspard, and I'm asking you how it is possible a mountain that on a flat Earth should appear 25% taller than the one next to it. It's 3.5 times smaller.
That's great. And also the horizon should be freaking 127 miles away and cutting up all that shit. Why isn't it doing that?
What? So can you say that again in English?
So here's the funny, you guys don't realize, the horizon, no calculation for drop, dip, size, anything can even be calculated without calculating the horizon first. You know that, right?
No.
It's a crucial variable that all other variables depend on.
So
if you don't have the horizon distance, you have nothing.
We have the horizon distance of the physical ball, yeah. But do you ever see the actual physical ball? No, because there's air in between you and it. There's some kind of refraction going on in every instance.
Yeah, well, then how are you calculating what should or should not be fucking hidden or not, based upon a horizon that you can't see?
Because we know that how far away the horizon is on the physical ball, just because we can't look out and actually see that exact same thing.
How do you know where that is?
Because we know the size of the Earth.
How do you know that?
Because it's been calculated.
Because ships go over the horizon. Because we know the size of the wall. It's funny.
So you don't know how we calculate the size of the Earth?
Yeah, dude. Go ahead. Tell me how we. You said measure.
But you know how we calculated the size of the Earth.
Oh, how did we do that?
Well, you know. Don't be absurd.
Eratosthenes?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Well, it's funny. In the academic literature, it says that Eratosthenes didn't prove anything. It's fucking weird.
He calculated the size of the Earth.
Yeah, he could have calculated whatever he wanted. Could have assumed the Earth was a cube and calculated that.
No, he took measurements. He took the shadow lengths and measured the difference. Yeah.
Really? Listen, brother, I know it's a cool story, but guess what? Nobody even knows the length of Eratosthenes' stud within 30%. That's in the academic literature, called the length of Eratosthenes' stud. Okay,
right.
It's in academic literature. You can look it up. Nobody. They don't even know how long a stud was. Number two, Eratosthenes didn't measure an angle. You know why? Because angles didn't exist yet in Greece, in Alexandria.
He
measured for another 300 years. No, listen, why are you interrupting me? And what did he do? He calculated an angle, right?
Yep.
How did he calculate an angle when they didn't know what an angle was?
Angles. That's absurd.
No, they didn't. They weren't introduced
Sure.
for another 300 years by the Babylonians. Not sure, for real.
No, that's completely incorrect.
The Greeks only subdivided circles into units of 12 after the zodiac. They didn't have 7.2. They didn't use degrees. They didn't use a sexagesimal system. They didn't use any of that shit. And if Eratosthenes did all that, why did they use Ptolemy's globe? Why did Christopher Columbus use that, which is 10% smaller?
Who says Christopher Columbus used
Why did they use El-Biruni's globe?
Well, I don't know. I don't understand why all your historical data is guaranteed valid. Right? But anytime I pull something out, Eratosthenes didn't do all this, but Christopher Columbus used Ptolemy's globe.
He used Ptolemy's globe, yes, which is 10% smaller.
Yeah, sure. And yeah.
Well, you said they measured it, right? So who measured it? Was it Ptolemy? Was it Eratosthenes? Was it El-Biruni?
He didn't measure it. Okay, he calculated the size of the planet, and he was remarkably close for the tools of the day.
How do you know? Okay, how did they validate that? How do you know he's remarkably close? How was that validated?
Because we have photographs of the Earth.
Okay, and they measured the radius of the Earth from a photograph.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, think about what you're saying, dude. They didn't measure the radius of the Earth from a photograph. Okay.
Maybe they did.
They didn't measure the circumference.
If you know how far you are from something, you can measure its size. So why could they not be, say, 40,000 kilometers from the globe and take a measurement of what they see? And go, well,
because you can't go 40,000 kilometers away.
Says who?
First of all. Says the second law of thermodynamics. That's who says.
What?
Yeah. The second law of thermodynamics makes outer space impossible.
Sure it does. What's the average velocity of a gas molecule?
Oh, who cares? What does that matter?
Well, it's kind of pertinent to what you're saying.
Well, if I open up my textbook to the kinetic theory of gases, I'm looking in it, and I don't see any G value in there. I don't see any gravity. I don't see anything like that. So I'm asking, why does it matter? Why do we need to know the kinetic energy of a gas?
No,
we were trying to calculate the pressure?
It's not the kinetic energy.
Well, we need to know the volume. What's the volume?
It's volume. What does that mean?
Oh, you don't have a volume. That's right. You don't have a volume.
What are you going on to?
The gas from going in a direction.
He's waffling nonsense onto fucking getting onto something that you can talk about and disguise that you don't know. The average velocity of a gas molecule. And
depends on the molecule. It depends on the temperature.
Average.
It's a dumb question.
Average.
Average. What do you mean average? It depends on the temperature.
Sure. It's about 1,800 kilometers per hour, but 300 meters per second.
At what temperature?
This is an average.
At what temperature?
It's an average across all gases.
An average of all temperatures? So what, 1 million Kelvin down to 0 Kelvin?
1,800 kilometers an hour. Stop trying to divert, mate. This is basically.
Is that a million Kelvin?
Trying to stop to get to the point. Okay, about 1,800 kilometers an hour.
No, dude. The kinetic energy of a gas molecule is directly related to its temperature.
Right.
Okay, you don't know what you're talking about.
Sure. What's the escape velocity required?
To where?
Escape velocity.
To where?
Escaping Earth's gravity. There's only one escape velocity.
To where, dude? You need a distance.
What?
Escape velocity varies depending on the distance away you want to get from Earth.
Sure. Escape velocity to get to escape.
The escape velocity to infinity, 11,000 miles per hour.
40,200 kilometers an hour.
Okay, and?
So how are your gas particles going to escape Earth's gravity?
What gravity?
They just jump to a different topic.
Yeah, what gravity?
Just jump to a different topic again.
No, what gravity? Oh, you think you get a sacred cow? What gravity?
The gravity, the mass of the Earth.
Define mass for us. This should be fun.
Well, define mass, dude.
Define mass, dude. Look, bro. I can
away
back
from.
all the
I'm
shit I heard
asking
in
you
school, too.
about gases, and then you
Look, there is no escape velocity because there are no orbits. You can't escape the Earth.
Yeah,
escape velocity is a concept that you made up in your head. It was made up in someone else's head, and you've adopted it.
So you don't know the answer, and you're just going to deny the fact that
no, the answer to what? What was the question? What was the question?
You said it circumvents thermodynamics, the laws of thermodynamics.
The second law of thermodynamics has no G in it.
It does not.
There's no G in it. There's no gravity in the second law of thermodynamics. Listen, if there was gravity
in the
second law of thermodynamics, listen to me. If there was gravity in the second law of thermodynamics, gravity would be able to do work. Okay? That means it could change the phase of fucking matter. Just gravity. It turns something from a liquid to a solid to a gas. Gravity would do it. Gravity would be able to do work. Gravity can't do any work.
Yeah, whatever. The second law.
Really? You think it can?
Second law. No, I'm not going to let you get away from the topic
perpetual motion machine. Do you get it, dude?
Dude, you just keep waffling on and on and on, and as soon as I start making
you don't even understand what's being said to you. Okay, that's the problem.
Oh, you cannot let somebody finish a sentence.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. There is no
Tell me about
breaking of the laws.
Tell me about the kinetic theory of gases then.
There is no breaking of the laws of thermodynamics by not having a barrier to keep the air in the Earth.
Okay. Well then, why doesn't the gas walk out to the vacuum of space?
Beg your pardon?
Why doesn't the gas fuck off into the vacuum of space, dude?
Just what I finished explaining to you. You cannot be serious.
Oh, because of gravity. But there's no gravity in the kinetic theory of gases or the second law or any of that shit. So you're just saying the word gravity doesn't mean anything. You're just saying a magic word. Gravity does it. Okay, demonstrate it.
The gases have mass.
Listen, I'll take you at your word. Gravity does it. Now show the experiment where gravity can hold gas away from the vacuum.
Yeah, the planet.
Yeah. That's affirming the consequent. That's circular logic. That's the thing you're actually trying to prove right now.
Well, to counter that, you would have to show a dome.
So you can't show the experiment.
You would have to show the dome.
No. So this is a logical argument of the form X, right? You got X is a necessary condition of Y. Okay, what's X? What's Y? We got gas pressure. What's a necessary condition? Container. You can't have gas pressure without a container. You can't demonstrate it. You can talk about it. You can say gravity is a container, but you have no experiment.
Where's it escape to?
You tell me.
Well, you say
that's your idea.
It's going to escape to space.
That's your idea.
No, you say that you say that we can't have this, where we live without a dome holding in the gases. So I say
I didn't say dome. I said container.
So what's the container then?
I don't know.
In your model, what's the container?
I don't know, but I know it must exist because of the necessary condition.
Oh, that's evidence now because of the necessary condition.
No, it is. Just like if I ate a steak, I know there's a cow.
Let me educate you on something then. Okay. You need an escape velocity. In our model, you need an escape velocity to get away from Earth. Right? Gas molecules have weight. They have mass. Therefore,
you need escape velocity for a solid object, not for gas.
It has mass. It is subject to gravity.
Look. Okay, that's a cool story, but it isn't in the kinetic theory of gases, and that's how we model gas behavior.
Because
we have Avogadro's law, we have Bell's law, we have But listen, we model gas. You think physics is some ubiquitous universal thing where there's crossover?
You're the one who's quoting it right now. You're the one who's quoting it right now.
We model
gas. We don't have G, so therefore it's not possible.
We model gases without G, dude. Yeah. Without G.
Because it doesn't need it when you're standing on the surface of the Earth.
That's where the gravity's strongest.
No, we're talking about escape velocity.
But the gravity's strongest at the surface of the Earth. If gravity could hold gas away from a vacuum, right, I could just set up a freaking little container with a vacuum in it and start a little gas, and all the gas would go to the bottom. The gravity would hold it away from the vacuum.
So like,
but you know, no one can do that experiment.
Like a fish tank without a lid.
Dude, make a cylinder 2,000 feet fucking high. I don't care. You insert gas inside that vacuum, it is going to disperse evenly throughout the container and reach thermodynamic equilibrium, irrespective of gravity.
Regardless of how tall it is. If I made a 50-mile tall cylinder and put some gas in it.
That's right. There wouldn't be gas at the bottom. It would be everywhere.
Right, so then why do we have a gas pressure gradient in the atmosphere?
Because we have a dynamic system.
So you can have a gas pressure gradient.
No, we have a dynamic system, meaning we have a container. We have an energy input.
You just said there would be no gradient in that 2,000 meter.
No one said that. No one said that. That was a sealed vacuum. That was a sealed container.
That you put gas into.
The sealed container is not a dynamic system. If you allow it to be heated, yes, you would see a gradient. You'd probably see all sorts of shit. You'd probably see turbulent flows and viscous flows and all that.
I'm yet to see gas pressure
in a
container. No one's ever shown me one.
A pressure gradient inside of a container? You've never seen that?
I never have.
Oh, I can show you that. That's no problem.
Okay. Very conveniently just got away from escape velocity questions that you can't provide answers to.
Escape velocity is a fiction. It doesn't exist in reality. It exists only in a formula.
You say.
Because I say, yes, because
it's not only in a formula.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It isn't. So where does it come from?
It came from my head.
Did it come from an experiment?
It came from my head.
Did it come from experiment?
How is it going to escape Earth's gravity?
Did it come from experiment?
How is it going to escape Earth's gravity? You say you cannot have gas without a physical container, right? How would it escape Earth's gravity? If there was no container, you say it would fly off into space. How is it going to do that? How is it going to escape Earth's gravity?
Because gravity doesn't have an effect on gas.
It has mass. It's subject to gravity.
It says who?
Oh, my God. It says
if it was subject to gravity, that means, mass. Bro, if it was, okay, you can sit there. Yeah, that's your idea. But if gravity affected it, that means we could do experiments with the gas and watch how gravity affects it, right?
On the surface of the Earth.
Do the experiments, gravity has no effect.
So what's your independent variable there? How are you controlling gravity?
You tell me.
No, you're the one who just said we could do experiments and justify it. How would we do an experiment within the confines of Earth's gravity?
No. Why don't you show me again, dude? Is that all you can do?
You'd have to go to space, and they have done so. You ever seen the ball of water?
Oh, you have to go to space. How do you know people went to space? I saw it on TV. That's where you saw it. That's the only thing you know, bro, is that you saw it on TV. That's when you think there's a ball.
We can get off gas. He said another word. We can get off gas. You need to justify.
Dude, I'll talk about
how you.
I don't need to get off gas.
Would escape Earth's gravity to justify needing.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to say that in physics.
What? I'm saying it to you now.
In physics, there's no reason to say that. If you look at the physics of gas, there's nothing in any of the physics or gas laws which say gravity would hold it down to the Earth. Nothing.
There's nothing there that says my pen would get held down to the Earth either. Because
your pen's not a gas. That's why. Because your pen's not a gas.
It's subject to gravity, dude. It has mass.
You can keep chanting that all you want.
If you were such a physicist, you would know that, and you wouldn't even be arguing about it. It is subject to gravity.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but why isn't it in the physics books?
Well, there's a gas pressure gradient. You still haven't explained how that is. You clearly said that it will disperse equally in the container. So then why is there a gas pressure gradient?
No, listen. In a static system, the Earth is not a static system. The Earth is a dynamic system. I clearly said that. You can have gas pressure gradients in dynamic systems. You know the difference between a dynamic and static? thermodynamic system is?
Yeah, and what's that got to do with it?
Because you can have gas pressure gradients in dynamic systems. In a static system, you can't. Eventually, it'll reach thermodynamic equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
Is that the best you can do? So now I posted the demonstration of gas pressure gradients inside a container.
So where did you do that?
Posted in the pill, dude. Yeah.
Why doesn't my pill update? It's so annoying. I have to click off it and click back on it.
This video is old as shit, dude. You could have done this experience yourself. In fact, you could have just took a thermos, stuck it in a freaking bowl of ice. Trivial, dude. Okay? You're giving canned answers that other freaking anti-flat earth clowns who you're copying couldn't come in here and win with. I'm telling you the truth, dude.
I'm not copying anybody.
Couldn't come in here and prevail. I don't know what you were thinking.
So what's this? We can get different pressure gradients in a sealed container. Is this a video?
That's right.
Let's have a look.
Because because
I've got the sound turned down. Can you step me through what he's doing? I'm looking at the video now.
Yeah, he's got two. Look, he's just got two different gases. Okay. And he heats one versus the other, and it creates a gradient, and he measures the pressure. Okay. If listen, whatever, you could do this yourself. Go get a thermos, go get a blowtorch, heat up one end. Is there going to be a gradient inside there?
I don't see why there would be.
Because you have an energy input. The gas that's closest to the source of heat is going to get hotter, right? And expand, right? And the cold gas is going to sink to the bottom, right?
So, but isn't it going to try and reach thermodynamic equilibrium?
Yeah, it will reach thermodynamic equilibrium when the energy input stops. But so far, the energy input on Earth has never stopped. If it stops and it doesn't reach thermodynamic equilibrium, let us know. So tell me when you have an actual argument.
I've been arguing with you all morning, dude, and you.
An actual argument.
Yeah, like how does gas escape Earth's gravity?
Gas is not affected by gravity. There's no reason for you to think it is.
Sure, it's not.
Well, there's nowhere in physics that shows that it's affected by gravity. There's no formulas.
Is there anywhere else in physics where mass is not affected by gravity?
What is mass? That's why I asked you. What is mass?
The physical weight.
I have no idea, do you?
Well, deep down, does matter actually even really exist? Is a question.
Does matter really exist? Is the question.
Is a question.
Are we brains in a jar? Is there an objective reality?
I don't know. That's philosophical, and that's not what I'm here for. I do like talking about those kind of subjects. Yeah, we could all be in a simulation, I guess, but that's not what we're talking about.
And there we have it.
Is there? And there we have what?
We could be in a simulation, but the Earth is a globe.
Well, I'm working with the tools that I have.
Your simulation is a flat Earth. I hate to tell you, it sucks. Sucks for you. You're in a flat Earth simulation.
No, it's not, because nothing works on a flat Earth.
Nothing works on a flat Earth.
That's
except for everything.
Except for nothing. I'm not.
What does that even mean? Can you clarify that? What nothing works on a flat Earth? What should work that don't work?
Oh, reciprocal zenith angles. How do they work on a?
You just freaking looped. You don't even know what they are. You don't know why they should be. You have assumptions about what should be measured that are wrong. Just wrong, dude.
And you've done these things, have you?
Don't need, dude. You can just go read the literature.
Is it like your photo? So we can just go read literature now. Hang on, I've been doing that. You just canned me for using other people's stuff, and now you're going to turn around and say,
I didn't can you for using other people's stuff.
Pig shit, you didn't.
No, listen.
But we can either read other people's stuff, right, and take it. But when people do bona fide experiments and calculations, right, and
you haven't showed one experiment ever.
Oh my God! So let's see your.
The only one who's produced any evidence in this conversation is me. You have sat here and blabbed.
Let's see your experiments.
I showed you my observation. I could show you more.
An observation.
Is an observation and all experiment? That. Yeah, experiments are for phenomenon. I haven't done any experiments with phenomenon. That's what you want to know. So, what was I going to say? Everything works on a flat Earth. Want to know what works especially well? Predicting how much curvature there is per mile, because there's none.
Except it's all.
So have you ever seen the Bolivian salt flats? Can you tell us why the reflection on the Bolivian salt flats is perfectly symmetrical?
It's not.
Oh, it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. That's a hell of a refutation.
Yeah.
So it's a mirror image, right? So it's a mirror image, right? You got the sky, then you got the reflection of the sky. If you take the top part of the sky, like just draw a line down the horizon, cut it in half, flip the image, and overlay them, they line up perfectly. Why is that?
Because they don't.
Because they don't. Okay. I guess I'll post that too. This will be like the 7th thing you said nuh-uh about.
Sure.
Getting tired, dude?
Yeah, I can't share my screen, but I'm just looking at it now. I did it last night. Flipped it over. It's not the same. Very, 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 very close.
Show me. Show me.
All right. Hang on. I will. Oh, it's going to be. How can I share my screen? Because it's going to be hard to.
I thought you said you already did it.
How do I show it to you? Because it's 2 static photos.
Just post it in the pill, dude.
How are you going to tell the difference? It's 2. All right. One and.
So here's one. The original and it inverted. It's like pixel perfect, dude.
So that's what 2 photographs. This is what I was talking about. So I've posted 2 pictures. It's very hard to look at 2 pictures that are really close to each other and go, yeah, one's different to the other. Like you have to put it into Photoshop and
I understand that.
Make one semi-opaque. You know what I mean? And I did that last night, and they're not exact. They're extraordinarily close because the globe is fucking huge. Okay, but they are not pixel perfect. Yeah, 2 photos side by side. It's too hard. I just can't see that definition enough. I provided you my two photographs. One is they both have they both have the top half from the horizon up, and I flipped it over. One is a screen cap with the bottom layer turned up to full opacity, and then the bottom layer turned down. Give me a sec. I'm just going to grab another drink.
Sorry, I accidentally disconnected a while ago.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
What are you showing me?
What's that?
What did you show with the Bolivian salt flats? What was that?
Oh, I'm not sure if it's the Bolivian salt flats, but it's salt flats, and it's got that mirrored thing to it. But you have to do it for yourself, because it's too hard to show two pictures.
I did. I posted one, and I just flipped it. All I did is, like, you got to draw. You cut the image in half at the horizon and just flip one over.
That's what I did.
Okay. Well, we had a PhD I debated in mathematical physics, and he fucking fucked it up. He didn't even do it right. Just fucking sad. He put it horizontally like a dipshit. Can't even figure out what he did. I don't even know what he did, quite honestly.
So he fucked up Photoshop.
He was using GIMP. Right, he was ordered to claim he can't prove he has hands, which was pretty freaking pathetic, but whatever.
I don't really get what that means.
I'm just telling you, man, dude with a PhD in mathematical physics resorted to I can't prove anything. I can't even prove I have hands. Well, he's on TikTok typing, which is kind of weird. I don't know what he's typing with. They're virtual hands. He's typing with his head. Trying to find a
Okay, so gravity doesn't exist, right?
And the way you think.
So what is it?
Things fall, that exists.
Why? What defines down?
No one knows why things fall. Okay, this is easy to. This is easy. Oh, you do? Okay, give me the experiment. Oh, give me the experiment then.
Well, Cavendish.
What falls in Cavendish?
It's mass attracting mass.
Yeah, but what falls in Cavendish? We want to know why things fall.
The experiment was to demonstrate that mass attracts mass. That's why things fall.
Yeah, that's cool, but no, you're just saying that. The experiment has nothing to do with a falling object.
Right, okay, sure.
Well, walk me through the logical train on how those are related. I throw a bowling ball up a cliff. How was that related to Cavendish? How did I get from that to Cavendish?
Well, because mass is attracted to mass, so you throw it off a cliff, it falls towards the large mass of the Earth.
Okay, yeah, that's your claim. You have the experiment showing that?
Well, do I need
same mechanism?
Do I need to go and throw a bowling ball off a cliff? Do I really need to do that?
Why don't you just the same mechanism that causes Cavendish, and I'm gonna just grant you that, even though it doesn't do what you think it does. I seriously doubt you even know it's observed. None of you do. I haven't met a single glober yet that knows what's even observed in the Cavendish experiment. Anyway, that's not the point. How do you know the same mechanism that causes Cavendish is the same one that causes the ball to fall up the cliff?
So Cavendish demonstrated that mass attracts mass.
Did he? That would be it.
What?
Mass, the modern definition of mass is resistance to acceleration, right?
Oh, whatever, man. Fucking shit you can pick up attracts other shit you can pick up. How's that? All right?
So resistance to acceleration attracts resistance to acceleration. Fantastic. That's what it does?
You're just diverting away from it, okay?
No, I'm not. But
You
this
are.
word mass has no meaning. It's gobbledygook. Saying mass attracts mass. Mass has no. It's not. It's immaterial. It's a unit of measure. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it does, because you're standing on a really large
attracting.
mass. Right? When you stand on the
Okay,
earth, you're standing
what's
on a
mass?
really large mass.
What's that?
No shit you can pick up. All right?
Oh, really?
Don't be absurd.
No.
You're being
No.
absurd. You're being
The amount of matter is not the mass. It's not equal to the mass. Sorry.
No, well, mass.
I'm going to read it to you.
Sure.
No.
Whatever. Do you think
I'll
definitions
read
are
you
going to
from
get you
physics
out
books.
of the fact that we stand on
From
the
physics
surface
books.
like I pick up a rock? Are you going to tell me that it doesn't exist? Like, well, what are you
No,
going
the
to
rock
tell
exists
me?
fine.
Okay, so the rock is matter, yeah, and it has mass.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
That's
so
not its
stop getting
mass.
away from that.
No, the amount of matter is not the mass, dude. Sorry.
Who gives a fuck about the amount of matter being the mass? I said
You said the rock, this substance is the mass, dude. No, it's not.
Whatever. Playing word games, trying to get away.
It's not a word game. It's the physics definition, bro.
So what do you want to call it then? What is the rock? The rock in my hand, what is it? What can I call it?
It's a rock.
It's going to upset you.
A rock.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to read you from Max Born,
Oh, don't.
Nobel laureate, Theory of Relativity, Dover Publications. In ordinary language, the word mass denotes something like amount of substance or quantity of matter. These concepts themselves being defined denote further. The concept of substance is considered self-evident. In physics, however, as we must very strongly emphasize, the word mass has no meaning other than that given by formula. It is the measure of the resistance of changes of velocity. Mass don't attract shit, dude.
So what can I change the word to then? Okay.
You tell me, dude. It's your crackpot idea.
Shit you can pick up or shit you can touch attracts other shit you can touch. How's that? Does that fit into your? Can we stop playing word games? We all know what I mean.
They're not word games.
We all know what I mean.
We're talking about physics, dude.
When I say mass, okay, we all know what I say.
You don't know what you mean.
Physical objects. Shall we call it physical objects? What are we going to call something like the Earth and the Moon? What are we going to call them so I don't upset
you? Don't know what you mean, bro.
Well, you can't tell me. You're arguing with me calling it mass. You're arguing with me calling it mass, but you won't give me what I can call it so we can actually just move on in this conversation.
Dude, why would I give you the definition for your shit?
Because you're denying something and I'm trying to explain to you.
Denying what?
Wrong, and you're diverting onto the meaning of words.
That's hilarious.
This is not a fucking dictionary debate, you clown.
So I'm denying the thing that you can't even define what it is. So what am I denying exactly? You can't even define what it is I'm denying.
Yeah, you're denying that the mass of the Earth is what keeps.
I don't know what that is.
Onto it. Like matches everything else you talk about.
I don't know what mass is. Tell me, what is it?
Yeah, shit you can touch.
Shit you can touch.
Yep.
Right. Is that the physics definition?
Whatever you want. Can we move on?
Shit you can touch.
So
well, we can move on. Like you brought up the gravity thing, right? And you said, why did things fall? I said, hey, no one knows. Because you know why? Because no one can do that experiment.
What do you mean no one can
do that experiment? Can't be done.
What experiment can't be done?
To figure out the cause of a falling object.
No, it's mass attracting mass. We've demonstrated that.
We
know it extraordinarily well.
Okay, let's do that experiment then. Mass attracts a mass. Let's do that experiment.
Cavendish
I'm going to take a bowling ball. Okay, nothing falls in Cavendish.
Doesn't need to fall.
We're trying to figure out why something falls. Nothing falls in Cavendish, dude. No matter how much you want it to be so, it don't. But we are going to do the experiment with falling objects. So I'm going to push a bus off a cliff, and I'm going to push a bowling ball off the cliff. So I just varied your independent variable. They fall at the same rate.
Right.
Oh, guess that's not the independent variable now, is it?
What clown fucking magic are you trying to spin?
That's not the cause, because that's how you determine the cause and effect relationship. You manipulate the independent variable and watch the effect on the dependent variable. If mass was the cause of a falling object, then when I manipulated the mass by changing the quantity, I would see a different effect.
And what would the percentage of a bowling ball next to, what would the difference?
Oh, so you don't have the experiment. Congratulations. That's my point.
What would the difference be of a bus compared to a bowling ball in
Who cares?
relation to the Earth? In relation to the Earth,
It's not my
you just
problem.
made a claim that you're not going to know the numbers for. This is why you don't understand shit. You just go off with.
I'm going to measure 9.8 meters per second squared acceleration. That's what I'm going to measure.
Yeah, and you said it's not because of mass attracting mass, because the bus is a different weight or mass to the bowling ball. What is that in a percentage next to the Earth?
Who cares?
Everybody that wants to actually understand what Cavendish experiment proved.
Well, we did the experiment. In the experiment, you can say, hey, dude, we didn't have a high enough mass to test it. Well, then you still have no experimental validation
An
of your
experiment
cause.
that you just provided.
Well, you got a better one?
So you just provided an experiment that you then went on to say didn't prove anything because you didn't have enough in your variables to actually justify anything. Well done. You'd make an excellent scientist, dude.
Okay. I would make an excellent scientist because I'm actually testing the hypothesis.
Right, but you won't tell me what the mass of a bus is in comparison to the Earth.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Because it changes the results.
Okay. What does it change the result? What am I going to measure differently from the bus versus the bowling ball?
Because the difference in their weight, the difference in their mass is is negligible.
So it's immeasurable.
I don't know if it's that small, but it's going to be a negligible amount of changing its velocity towards the Earth.
Okay, so if I can't do the experiment, or if I don't have the ability to do the experiment, can I say I know the cause?
No, that's not that simple with one experiment. But we have
that's the way it works, dude.
We have an insurmountable amount of information about gravity, and it always works out with our understanding of it. What the root cause? Why does mass attract mass?
You don't understand anything.
Mass attracting mass is why we see gravity. Okay, why does mass attract mass? Okay, is big. Relativity is that causes a depression in space-time. Why does it do that? We don't know why it does that. We don't know why mass causes a depression in space-time. That's an
awesome story.
It's the best thing we have to go with. You don't have anything better.
Because you know what? I tell the truth. I'm telling you right now.
No, you don't.
Can't do the experiment.
Dude.
You can't do the experiment. Nobody can do the experiment. I'm sorry.
Anyone can do Cavendish.
Yeah. Bro, nothing falls in Cavendish. Nothing.
It's demonstrating that mass attracts mass.
Okay. You can't. Right back to the beginning. Resistance to acceleration attracts resistance to acceleration.
So you're going right back to the beginning too. So that's in relation to inertia. So
you're just saying a nonsense, but you're just saying these gobbledygook words that maybe you heard in a physics class once.
Right.
These words are meaningless, dude. This is trash.
It's not trash. We understand gravity.
It is trash. You don't understand anything, dude. That's the whole point. How would you know if you understood or not?
I don't know. How would you know if I understand or not?
Well, no. How would you know if we understood? You said we understand all this stuff incredibly well. How would you know you actually understand? Who's the arbiter of whether you understand or not?
Oh, I assume you're going to tell me that you know how Neptune
is it self-referential?
Was discovered.
No, is it self-referential? Does it mean
you know how
decide for themselves whether they decide or not?
Do you know how Neptune was discovered? Not really. Do you know how Neptune
it violated the Titus Bode law. Do you really want to go there? You don't know anything about this. You're going to parrot something
I don't know anything
don't
understand. About this. Dude, says the guy who says there's no equation.
What is the Titus Bode law? What is the Titus Bode law?
Don't know. Educate me.
You don't know, so
educate me.
Up, dude.
Stop talking about what I know and answer the fucking questions. How did they discover Neptune?
Because it's directly related to the subject you just brought up. How was Neptune discovered? You have no idea about the details of it.
But you haven't explained it.
I'm not teaching you fucking astronomy right now.
There you go. There we go.
I already did that earlier.
You claim you can explain it, but you can't.
There's something called the No, I didn't claim anything. I'm telling you, you don't understand it. I can't have the conversation with you about it without teaching it to you and then debunking it. No, thank you. I've already done that enough today. I'm telling you, really simply, there's no experiment which can show the cause of a falling object. You can argue about it. You can complain. You can say you know, you don't know. Nobody knows.
Yes,
Okay?
but all
as
the
far
math,
as Cavendish
but all the math
goes,
works.
all the math works. What math? Which
Orbital mechanics, escape velocities.
Oh, here we go. You're going to do more. Okay. So orbital mechanics is a kinematic model. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I know what kinematics is. Yeah.
Okay, there's no dynamics in it. In fact, the inverse square law comes from kinematics.
Inverse square law. What the fuck?
The inverse square law. So Newton, way back in the day, noticed that the geometric relationship. Can you let me finish? The geometric relationship of an elliptical orbit, that if you had one foci and there was a force that pointed to the foci, that force would follow inversely proportional to the square of the distance. It's a property of the geometry, was never confirmed by experiment. It's not a natural law, it's a geometric law. They take this geometric law and pretend they have a dynamic law of the solar system, which they don't. You use Keplerian fucking orbital elements, right? And it's a kinematic model. There's no forces, there's none of this shit.
Right, but everything just happens to work though the way that we do it.
Dude, there's other models that also work.
Like what? Give me another model.
Tycho Brahe's model.
What's his name?
Epicycle model.
Epicycles.
They all work.
Epicycles don't work.
Epicycles.
No, epicycles don't.
Epicycles work.
Yeah,
yes, they do.
Epicycles can't make.
They've always worked.
Can't make calculations. Oh, it can make a lot of calculations. It can't make all.
Okay, I'm gonna post in the chat, dude. Now you're gonna make me do it, dude. Epicycles work, dude. It's published, dude.
But epicycles
can literally make any shape.
What? Epicycles can predict.
Epicycles could make a triangular orbit.
Epicycles can predict the path of totality of an eclipse.
We use solar cycles for
No,
that.
they can't. The solar cycles doesn't predict the path of totality.
The path to totality? Oh, that uses a Bazelian projection or something.
Whatever, dude. What was this?
Yeah, you have no idea how it's done. Yeah, so Bezel, first the one that came up with this using Bazelian.
But you just said there's other models that can do it, and I pointed out one part of it that it can't do, so it's not a valid model.
Yeah, they could do it.
It's not a valid model, okay? The globe, right, can validate everything we see.
Okay, the heliocentric model doesn't even work for eclipses. Doesn't work at all.
Sure, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna you keep laughing, so I'm gonna post the thing with the epicycles work, and then I'm gonna post the thing that eclipses. The heliocentric model can't predict eclipses. See, I back my shit up, dude.
No,
all you've been doing is scoffing.
No, you don't.
And every time you scoff, I post the evidence that you're wrong, dude. Take the L.
Show us how the solar cycles. Show us how you, without using the globe model, you can predict the path of totality.
Tell me how you even predict when an eclipse happens at all with a heliocentric model. Because they don't use it.
They don't. Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you believe that.
They absolutely do.
Yeah. Type in NASA Soros. Yeah. Cool.
No, for things that don't matter, we can use that. We can use a kinematic model for things like they use what is it for near Earth orbit stuff? They don't need to use they use Newton gravity. They don't need to bring Einstein into it. What was the name of that model that you said works? What was the guy's name?
Which one? Tycho Brahe?
Yeah, Tycho, how do you spell the surname?
Tycho Brahe, his model was that the sun and the moon orbit the Earth and the planets orbit the sun.
Brahe, Danish astronomer.
Where was it? Oh.
So while you're looking that up, just for,
I found it.
People listening at home, we found Neptune because was it Jupiter was one of their moons, one of the other planets was wobbling in a way that they couldn't understand. They tried to do maths on it. They tried to work it out, what's causing this, until someone said, hey, if there was a mass of approximately this size in approximately this orbit, that would cause what we're seeing this wobble do. And they look there, and there's Neptune. Pretty good, pretty damning evidence that we have a firm grasp of mass attracting mass, and how much mass attracts another mass. Pretty good evidence.
That's a cool story.
It's not a cool story, dude. It happened exactly like that. It is a cool story. Yeah, it happened like that.
Oh, yeah, it happened exactly like that. Really? So you read what they wrote at the time? You read what the people involved wrote?
So you did.
No, I didn't. But
so
I know
that's what you do. You just,
why
you
they
just
didn't
argue
live there.
saying that
I'm going to tell you.
Could be bullshit.
Now, why you're interrupting me? I'm going to tell you, dude. I'm going to tell you. The reason they didn't look there is because there's something called the Titus-Bode law, which gives the distance, the position of a planet based upon the heliocentric model. It follows a certain pattern. And Neptune didn't fit the fucking pattern, so they never looked there. So they were wrong.
Sure, cool story, bro.
Look it up. I got to post that too. Cool story again. This is 3 times in a row.
Yeah, cool story. Yeah, where's this posted from? Some other freaking flat earther or some concave earther?
No, Wikipedia. Your alma mater.
Yeah, sure.
And again, Titus-Bode law. Okay, this is what everybody fucking believed. And Neptune is the fucking outlier.
Past tense. Thanks for adding that.
Neptune is the only outlier. It's why they never looked there. And they didn't deduce it from fucking orbits. They just looked fucking everywhere. The same way they do nowadays.
That's not true.
They even think that Galileo saw it fucking goddamn in the 1500s.
Oh, the closely matched the known planets from Mercury to Saturn. Wow.
Yeah, yes, listen. Within the geometric formulation, there's geometric relationships between all this shit. They don't know the distances to any of these objects. There's no way to actually measure it. It's assumed these distances the planets are in the positions they're in based upon the Titus-Bode law, this TB rule distance.
And how far does...
Do you think they're measuring any of this? How would they measure it?
Not with a measuring tape, no. So how far away...
How would they measure it?
How far away does the Titus-Bode law say the planets are? Like, just pick anyone.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Read it.
You brought it up.
Well, it predicts orbital observed distance, orbit or leg prediction.
Right. So
they pretty much line up, right?
Right. So you've brought up the Titus-Bode law, and it says that Jupiter is 5.2 astronomical units away. I thought the planets were. I thought the planets were fixed in the dome.
Graveyard.
I thought they were fixed in the dome.
How do they know it's 1.5 astronomical? How do they even know what an astronomical unit is? How do they even know the distance of the sun in the first place?
You're the one who brought this up.
Did you ever ask yourself that?
The Titus-Bode law that you brought up proves you to be wrong. This is what they believe.
No,
they believe that this is a way.
The argument, dude, as usual.
You can't pick and choose which parts of the law you want to include.
You can't pretend to be ignorant of the argument.
Thanks very much for giving me the Titus-Bode law that says that these things are.
You're pretending to be ignorant of the argument, dude.
Units away. Brilliant.
Yeah, you're pretending to be ignorant of the argument, dude. Congratulations.
You reach.
Yeah, you're pretending to be ignorant of what was said, dude. Yeah, you know what I said. You're Sean Manning my argument. Congratulations.
Yourself a reach around. I'm not.
What was my argument? Repeat my argument to me.
Yeah, your argument was.
Repeat my argument to me. Repeat my argument to me.
I'm trying to.
Repeat it to me.
Stop talking. I will.
Repeat it to me. You were listening, right? You refuted it. Repeat it to me. What was it?
He's continually talking, so I can't. I will. Are you going to be quiet?
Repeat it.
You said that the Titus-Bode law predicts where planets should be in astronomical units 2, 4.
No, I did not say that.
And that's how they found Neptune. That's what you said.
No, did not say anything like that. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
The Titus-Bode law predicted that Neptune should be there, and then they just looked everywhere for it. That's what you said.
No, I did not say. Look, You're butchering what was said because you weren't listening.
Right, sure.
I said up until Neptune, they thought all the planets followed the Titus Fold law. Okay? Neptune was the outlier. When they found this so-called perturbation of Jupiter, they looked everywhere. There was astronomers everywhere looking. They just happened to find it in a place. But where they found it has nothing to do with Newton's laws, the Titus Fold law, any of the fucking, they just found it in a random place. Didn't match anything that they were predicting. That's my argument, that it doesn't support the heliocentric model. In fact, it disputes the heliocentric model.
The discovery of Neptune disputes the heliocentric model.
That's right, because it shouldn't have been there. It's post hoc. Do you understand? It's post hoc. Something wrong. Oh, Jupiter doing these things, something wrong. Oh, look everywhere. Oh, we find it there. Hey, let's come up with an explanation of why that happened. It's all post hoc nonsense. It's literally all of astronomy. The Titus Fold law said that we are going to observe planets only at these places. If it followed the Titus Fold law, it wouldn't even been a story. Wouldn't have been nothing. But these are just geometric relationships of projections. The fact is, the Tycho model is more accurate than the Keplerian model because it makes better predictions about Mars. And epicycles can just predict whatever. They can predict for infinity because you go to a planetarium, that's what a planetarium uses. When you go to a planetarium, you look on the freaking dome, they're using epicycles. They're not using Newtonian physics. They're not using Tycho Brahe's model.
Why would they?
Well, the point of all of this, at least as far as I'm concerned, is if you have multiple models that make the same predictions, how do you know which one is physically real?
You don't. So then you have to do more experimentation. So, I mean, basically, that's in my view, that's basically what science does. You don't really you whittle away the things that it can't be, and you're hopefully left with what it is. Now, every now and then, we find some part of it that we didn't know, and a whole new batch of possibilities open up. And that's still the truth with everything. Science doesn't prove anything. We just get as close to what we think is the truth, and we keep working on it.
So we just delude ourselves for a while until we find another way to delude ourselves with something else.
Well,
then we find something else to delude ourselves a little bit more for a little bit longer.
We rarely throw out everything that came before it, especially these days. We're quite advanced. You don't throw out everything that came before us. You add your new piece of information.
In your lifetime, I guarantee you, mark my words right now, in your lifetime, they're going to throw out quantum mechanics. They're going to throw out the Big Bang. They're going to throw out all the cosmological nonsense, the lambda dark matter model. All of that stuff's going to get thrown out in your lifetime. I guarantee it. Might not be in my lifetime, but it'll be in yours.
Easy to
guarantee it. They're already talking about it.
Easy to say.
They're already talking about it. In the physics scientific world, they're already talking about it. They started talking about the Big Bang being bullshit years ago. The fucking standard model is about to be thrown overboard. I mean, that's a whole nother freaking can of worms. And quantum mechanics has fundamental problems that can't be resolved.
Oh, maybe we can't resolve them. Maybe we can't resolve them. Can you cite an example of what you talked about when quantum mechanics that doesn't work? There's bits of it that we maybe don't know.
No, it doesn't work is a different thing. There's logical problems with it.
Can you cite one?
Like the law of identity. It violates the law of identity.
What is that? Explain it.
It's non-local, right? So, for example, instantaneously action at a distance, basically. You have two entangled particles. Doesn't matter the distance away. If you put one, the other one supposedly flips.
Yeah.
So there's no speed of light. There's none of that crap. They're entangled. Quantum particles tunnel barriers. They do all sorts of shit, right? So that's kind of like non-physical. Right. So there's a funny thing about quantum mechanics where like nobody actually knows what's happening between the source and the fucking detector. They can say what happens they can give you a probability of what happens at the detector.
There you go.
And they can give you a probability of what happens at the source, but they can't tell you what happens between there.
Okay, that's a great example. Totally agree with that. All right. And you might say we could even relate that back to gravity. We don't know why mass causes a depression in space-time, but everything that we see that it causes, we can use that and we know it extremely well. We don't know why quantum tunneling happens, but we use quantum physics and quantum mechanics to do things, and we know it quite well. We maybe don't know why these things happen, but they happen reliably. We can predict what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, in the case of quantum mechanics, I would say, yes, you can make a lot of predictions. In the other stuff, I think you're misinformed. They don't use general relativity to predict the orbit of the planets. In fact, it would never work because of the time delay of the speed of light. You'd have something called retarded gravity, and I don't mean like retarded.
I know what you mean.
Retarded in time. This is a known problem that's been around for like 30, 40 years that no one's ever solved yet. How that would even work? You would never have a stable orbit of anything.
What's that? What?
Because like you wouldn't like say you had the sun and Jupiter. I'm going to use these two examples.
Yep.
The gravitational influence of the sun on Jupiter, because it takes freaking 16 minutes to reach Jupiter, and the sun is moving through space, the vector that gravity would point Jupiter at wouldn't be where the sun is, it would be where it was. Okay, so that Jupiter would start moving toward where it was. And that gravitational difference between where it is and where its gravitational influence points will get greater and greater and greater over time. Now, if you have a whole bunch of bodies like 9 planets, asteroids, all that shit, and you have time delays of gravity going in every freaking direction, the only reason Newton works is because it's instantaneous exponential distance. That's the only reason it works. If there's any time delay in the force, you have 0 stable orbits. That's impossible.
That's not how forces work.
Gravitation, I'm talking about general relativity.
No, but gravity doesn't.
Okay, general relativity
doesn't point itself.
It has a time delay. The gravity only goes at the speed of light, right?
Yeah, but it's always there.
Going at the speed of light.
It's always there, whether there's a planet there or not. Sun exhibits gravity and it exists.
Okay. The sun's moving. Now I have Jupiter. Sun's moving 1.5 million miles an hour. I have Jupiter. Jupiter's moving with the sun at 1.5 million miles an hour. Now, the sun moved in, say, 1 second. Okay, it moved, whatever, 3,000 miles. That motion of moving 3,000 miles takes 16 minutes to get to Jupiter. So when Jupiter feels that gravitational influence, the sun is now fucking 250,000 miles away from where it was.
Yeah, but the gravity of where Jupiter gets to was already there.
What do you mean was already there?
Meaning, imagine a funnel with a marble going around it, right? Now move that through space. Okay, is the marble affected? Is the marble affected by the movement of it? No, the funnel is always there. Funnel doesn't. Okay. The funnel doesn't disappear and just appear when the planet
gets there. That's a shit analogy.
No, it's a great analogy. The funnel is always there.
No, it's a horrible analogy because the hole is delayed in time.
But so is the movement.
That's you're not understanding. The funnel, the gravity on that funnel is instantaneous. The gravity in this situation is not. The edge of the funnel feels the fucking hole, the gravity, 16 minutes after the fucking funnel was formed. And the funnel's moving. I didn't discover this. This isn't my discovery. This is a known problem. Called the retarded gravity problem. Probably because gravity is retarded.
Yeah.
But it is getting late, dude, and I appreciate the talk, but and sorry if I was being rude. I get worked up sometimes. I didn't mean to pick on you. It's a complicated subject, and like I shouldn't be an ass. It is a complicated subject. Probably why you entertain it, right? It's intriguing, right?
I entertain it because it's the best model we have. There's no model that competes with the globe Earth model.
And if there was, then what?
We would have to move.
Would they change all the textbooks?
We would have to move
to fucking...
Yeah, we would have to change to that.
When you went to school, how old was the textbook you were reading?
Probably about. I used to have a particle physicist lived out the back of me when we'd have Christmas parties, mate. I just nail him, and he was so interesting to talk to. He said it's about 30 years by the time when scientists discover something and start going, hey, maybe this could be an answer to something, right? It's about 30 years. If their guess turns out to be true, it's about 30 years between where scientists go, hey, this could be something, to when it gets into textbooks, which is appalling.
Okay, yeah, that is appalling, but that's not my point. How old was your textbook?
Probably,
so
probably 30
the textbook you had was from 10 years before.
No, what was...
So the shit you got was 40 years old.
Yeah, no, my textbooks were brand new every year, mate. But what was in there was somewhere between probably 10 and 30 years old as far as the knowledge that we actually knew, as far as the leading knowledge of the things that we knew to be true. I was not being taught that. Which is it's terrible. But I was taught the atom when I first started. I was taught that the atom was a solid object when I was in primary school. That's what I thought the atom was, a solid little ball. Then I get to senior school and it's particles, a nucleus with photons going around it and stuff. And that's not what it is, but that's what I was taught. And they knew that wasn't what it was when I was being taught it, but textbooks just hadn't caught up to what scientists knew. It's appalling. It's terrible. Doesn't deny that the model we have
wasn't why.
Works.
They think it's too complicated for children to understand. That's why. So I actually have a video on my YouTube channel from someone speaking at the Royal Society, and he basically, the thing you just said is what he says they do. That they lie to children. And they tell them that the atom is indivisible. And then when they get a little older, they tell them a different lie, that there's just a nucleus, electron, and protons. And then when we get a little bit older, they get a little bit closer to the truth and say, yes, those things are made up of even smaller particles. And then they get even closer to the truth, even farther up when they give you quantum field theory or something.
Well, dude,
when I say truth, in quotes, what they consider the truth.
Well, when you poo-pooed me before when I said does matter even exist, and that is a fascinating sort of potential that you've got the atom, you've got your nucleus and electrons that travel around it, and you've always been shown that in textbooks as something like say a basketball and a tennis ball, and they're about 2 foot apart. And the truth is, it's more like a marble and a grain of sand, and the grain of sand is 20 miles away. That's the kind of distance, that's the kind of comparison size relationship there is between a nucleus and an electron, right? But then when you get into the nucleus...
I thought it was even further. I thought they told me the distance to the moon.
It's almost entirely empty space, right? And then when you dive into the nucleus, it's the same thing. It's almost entirely empty space. And you get right down to what they think may be is string theory, that it's just a little string of energy, that actual matter doesn't really exist. It's just the way it's all built together. It's a fascinating concept. Once you start getting down to string theory, I kind of don't understand.
String theory is not testable. That's the problem with string theory. It's not really testable. They pretty much admit it isn't. They can't do experiments on their strings.
No, I'm not sure about whether string theory is correct or not, but I do hear word that maybe.
I'm just saying it's not testable experimentally. You can't really confirm it. You can't really. There's no experiments you can really do. No, but you can make a complex model, right? It kind of matches with reality, but there's no way to test it versus any other model. And say, hey man, this string theory makes a prediction that no other ones make, and let's test that and see if it's true. There's nothing with string theory that lets you do that.
No,
it makes no unique predictions, is what I'm saying.
It would justify how you could fit the entire universe into a grain of sand or even smaller into an atom, if it's just a little charge, not even particle, if it's just a little bit of energy, if you took out all the spaces in between all the atoms, you could fit the entire universe into something infinitesimally small. It's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it's pretty cool. But it was good talking to you.
Right,
Good sport.
all right, dude.
All right.
Thanks for coming. I'm glad you showed up. I wasn't sure if you were going to, but you did. So
Yeah, I do this all the time, brother.
yeah, I know.
All the time. No, but dude, I don't think you know. Like, you might think you know, but like literally, I debate this topic almost every day for years. So
Yeah.
I got a lot of pelts.